Everybody change their names.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, exclusive.
Should have got a fork. That's fine. All right. Veritan, you ready there?
I'm all ready, yep.
Excellent. When last we met, the newfound group of Eve, Billy, Elenia, and Veritan had just left a heated discussion with the frigid Tolgi Lutin, discovered to have robbed Pelk's curiosities, and that her sister, Halil, coordinated this. The four adventurers proceeded back into town to inquire into the dagger Tolgi carried. On the way, Elenia tells Veritan about her mother and life in the village. Billy learns that Eve was adopted and that he also didn't have a plan on how to continue the conversation. Thankfully, two tieflings giggle past and distract the group, saving poor Billy from the awkward silence. Arriving at the temple of Moradin and Pelor, they quickly sighted Trevor, the priest of Moradin. Billy cautiously presents the knife using Ringo, his invisible servant. Trevor hesitantly looks into it and casts Detect Magic to inquire into its magic. He seems unfazed by the dagger and goes to reach for it. Veritan grabs his hand, still unsure, and trepidatiously begins to identify it to be sure. Through his magically enhanced vision, he discovers the item to be a moon-touched Aeorian +1 dagger. Despite the affliction being on Tolgi, the item seems simply to be an object from the receipt Ergon had from Pelk, one of the many items he returned from Easelcross with. Trevor asks how Tolgi came into possession of this dagger. The group reveals she had stolen it from Pelk, causing the priest to immediately worry about the reclusive elf. He will check in on Tolgi once he talks to Elro. In the meantime, he just worries about Pelk. Seeing matters settled for now, they move to the door to leave. As the wind of a sea breeze pulls them outside, Veritan draws Trevor's attention to the dwarven woman praying at the altar. Walking out, the elf couldn't help but overhear Trevor talking to Volna about her missing brother. Outside, the calm weather invites a sense of peace, heralded by the call of the waves heard over the distant buildings. A faint and whimpering cry is heard that cuts the frigid air. Magic, a young tiefling girl, is worried about the state of her sister. Leading the group away from the square, they realize she has taken them to Pelk's Curiosities, where the front door is strangely ajar, a sight Billy has never seen up until this point. Magic implores them to save her sister, who went after 5 figures that crept in the back. Billy decides to use Ringo to open the door and make a distraction as they formulate a plan in the bushes. Followed by a series of loud noises, the front door is shut, and Veritan elects for another plan of action, summoning his familiar, Rune. A soft, white fox with 2 tails emerges from his cloak, and the elf's eyes begin to glow. The fox dashes around the corner as Veritan uses his familiar's senses to get a grasp of the situation. Peering through a back window, he discovered a number of hooded figures around a tied tiefling girl. Knocking her unconscious, Rune dashes back at blinding speed, seeing their actions are threatening. Veritan tells the group they must act now, quickly coming up with a plan to surround the shop. Billy and Elenia move toward the front door as Veritan and Eve sneak around back. Approaching the front cautiously, Billy and Elenia manage to sneak inside and see a dark room with the floor covered in a layer of dust and disarray. While Billy's eyes adjusted, Elenia discovered a dark void and, annoyingly, lit a torch. As she does this, she catches the wide eyes of 2 bandits about to charge them. Billy reacts and breathes raw energy from the dragon in his blood. Lightning cackles over the 2 charging foes, and he scares them into retreat. On the other side, Eve and Veritan both ignite flames in their hands, one red and smoldering, the other a brilliant white. 2 bodies fall as the flames leap upon the would-be escapees. On the other side, Billy's rapier sings as it catches another bandit, and Elenia's own flames descend onto the 4th. Caught in a pincer attack, the bandits try to escape as the confusion befuddles their poor plans. Amidst the quick battle, Eve falls to a crossbow bolt, only to be healed by a magically tuned sung by Billy. The young girl, Honor, was safely rescued from the hostage situation and reunited with her sister outside. Having subdued the 2 remaining bandits, a thorough interrogation followed. Halil apparently had sent them back to see if they could find anything that might heal her. It appeared that whatever they stole had affected her, and she seemed intent on them not returning without a solution. As Elenia and Eve settled matters with the bandits, Billy discovered the mystery behind Pelk's absence. Lost in story and music, the Dragonborn spent a moment alone with a precious gift. Veritan proceeded to investigate the shop further, slowly unraveling the story of what had transpired. As they gathered round the bound bandits, a plan began to formulate. Leave them here for Elro and perhaps visit Croaker Cave. They gathered the weapons and remaining 3 cloaks, with Eve providing a surprising solution for the matching 4th. Outside, they encountered a furtive glassblade, Mila Tenno, following up on Magic's information. Seeing the situation resolved, she explained Elro had been busy interrogating the few glassblades left in the city, and it seems they will need to go house to house to check on the remaining populace. Veritan scrawls a quick note to Elro explaining the situation and gives it to Mila to handle. As they go to leave, she remembers the gift Magic had sent with her, a wand. Weary but pleased, the group decides to go back to the inn and are greeted by a slightly happier Arl. He lays out bowls of steaming chowder, Elenia's mother's recipe apparently. The food revives them, and Veritan dives into the mystery of the wand. As the truth is revealed, he simply passes it to Billy and turns in for the night. The sound of laughter erupts behind him as Arl's face magically smiles. Arriving at the room, Veritan contemplates the events that brought him to this moment. And as his mind wanders, he is pleasantly interrupted by the faint notes of a lute downstairs. Billy has remembered the tune he heard in Pelk's and is playing a wonderful song down by the bar. Elenia and Eve begin to dance and are soon joined by 2 men that were sharing a far table. As the coals settle down to the echo of laughter and notes in the air, the group's thoughts slip away from the problems of tomorrow. Outside, the village was painted in icy starlight, for a clear night lay upon them. Yet even as the gentle breeze swept up from the shore, it tasted faintly of bitter cold, and in the northern seas, dark clouds gathered. It's about 5 in the morning at this point. You all have awoken and kind of been doing your things. You hear the faint sounds next door to your rooms of a lute kind of being tuned a little bit, and some casual calisthenics. What are you all doing?
Yeah, so I'm gonna, I mean, we stayed there, so I'm assuming I'm in my room, I'm gonna, like, get up and stretch and, like, just go downstairs to see if anybody else is awake yet.
Yeah, once I'm done with my my morning routine and looking over what Pelk gifted me, I'm gonna also head down and for some breakfast and coffee.
Sounds good.
Is Arlo up? Is he there?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. 20. Not natural, but 20.
As you get downstairs, there is a faint amount of light, natural light, coming in from the coals on either side of the 2 hearths. It's silent down there. There's no one. It's early, really early. You do, however, with your great investigation skills, notice a few day-old pastries that were there from yesterday that he has kind of tucked behind the counter.
Is there a way to, like, heat up water and is there tea or coffee around?
Would you like to go in the back?
Yeah.
Okay. Elenia, you just noticed Billy casually look behind the bar and just leap over it as if he owns the place.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna just, like, lightly flank him, like, not even let him know that I saw him yet, but just kind of, like, follow him, like, what's this guy doing?
Oh, do I notice Elenia with me?
you absolutely notice her with you. She definitely just came down kind of behind you.
I'm looking for for tea or coffee or something. It's a little for the morning. A little something warm. It's fucking cold out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then I'm
Alright.
gonna I present the day old pastries and I put them on the counter. I'm like, here, help yourself. And then I'm gonna go continue looking for coffee or two.
Okay. So
I'm
well,
good.
Billy, go ahead and roll. Let's do.
Like,
Go ahead and roll
I bring in enough clientele. I got this. I can do this.
oh man.
roll a survival check.
Survival check. What am I?
Straight to survival.
16.
Okay. Billy, you do see enough ingredients lying around and different things that you could make a relatively warm meal with some eggs and such if you decided to spend the time doing it. You do also see some water that you can heat up in a kettle if you get the coals going on the hearth enough that you can kind of get a little fire going.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get a fire going to heat up some water and
Okay.
I'll scramble us some eggs.
So we'll say that Billy's making breakfast.
All right.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot better than these old
I did
pastries.
this. I did this on the ship. Every now and then, the cook would teach me a few things. It's gonna be a little bit greasy, but you'll like it.
All right, I'll trust you. I'm gonna actually maybe walk around him and see if Arl is actually around, just so he doesn't
Arl-
walk in.
Arl is not around.
Oh, he's just straight up not around at all. We already observed that. Okay.
You,
Okay, well, I guess I'll get up.
Okay.
And do I have a window in my room?
you do.
Okay.
And you also wake up realizing that you slept soundly and strangely silently.
Interesting.
Dreamless sleep.
Dreamless sleep. So I want to wake up and just admire the town or whatever view I can see. I'm assuming I can see a snowy town.
You do. So go ahead and make a perception check.
Yes.
Nice.
Not 20. Oh, damn. All right.
What?
He is
Oh,
perceptive.
Shit.
Okay. Eve.
Yeah.
As you gaze out, being on the second floor, and you're actually on the balcony looking northward, so you're actually seeing more of the shoreline and the coast. You see beautiful clear skies, crystal clear. It's almost eerie. Seems like the winds had come through previously in the last day or so and blown most of the weather away. In the distance, you do see some clouds kind of gathering on the horizon as well. But for the time being, the stars are breathtaking. It looks like the moon may show up in the next day or so, but for right now, it seems like it's still passing the new moon phase.
okay.
But the stars are out, and the sky looks familiar to you, but it's just a little different because the horizon that you're seeing now, you kind of get a little more of it with that ocean in the background. It's a new sight.
Yeah, so I definitely want to take a moment in the morning before I speak to anyone just to admire the scenery, pick up the vibes of what the day's going to be like, and hopefully figure out just kind of like reflect on the day and send out how I want the day to go, like positivity into the day. And hopefully that we can figure out what's this dagger about and just kind of reflecting on the last few days of what's been going on. And then after I do that, I want to go downstairs and see what is going on.
Sure. And as you do that, you look up, and in the corner, you actually see a little macrame that someone had left there, and it says, "Live, laugh, love." And you leave.
Yes,
Someone basic was here.
yes, yes.
Nice.
It seems that Tata Miranda has been staying here the night before.
Left her trademark.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Everywhere she goes, she puts sticky notes, little stickers on the wall. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna go downstairs and catch up with Billy.
Okay. So as you leave, having
Belonging.
taken in this moment, and you were truly looking up at everything, taking it all in, and almost kind of reciting names in your head of what you saw, um, different constellations and such. Um, and then you decide to leave the moment, and you smell something coming from downstairs, and you go and you follow your nose.
The food.
Veritan, what are you doing?
I am laying in bed still. I have my books open from kind of on my lap. I have the book of the Celestial that I have
Mm-hmm.
opened on top of the Pallid Lore book, and I'm just kind
Mm-hmm.
of paging through, kind of gathering, and then to my left on the bed is all my kind of parchment notes, kind of scattered, and at this point, um, as I was taking the time all night reading one by one, trying to catch up with my thoughts, they had disheveled themselves in a way that, to me, doesn't make sense at the dates on them. They've been kind of thrown awry. And so I kind of just staring at them. I set them down through the night, trying to page through and just make sense of it. And as I am kind of getting ready, disheveling them, I look over at the desk where the dagger is still placed aglow, and I kind of just casually mage hand over to it and pull it from the desk as it floats and spins slowly towards me in the air. And I will grab it with my other hand and sheath it and put it on my side.
Beautiful. So as you're in the room, just kind of looking around, there's a human conformity to how you have it laid out, but at the same time, though, it's almost like you just see gaps in a way. Like you see where you've spaced it all, and there's just something it's like you're missing the strings that connect it, and something's up. And so,
yeah, that's kind of why I was reading the Pallid Lore, to kind of ground myself
mhm.
with something that I know a lot about. So I kind of, after scrawling them across the bed and pulling out my Pallid Grove and kind of trying to engage my brain in the knowledge of the Celestial Book, I do realize that the Pallid Grove has kind of calmed me a little bit and put my thoughts in a way that's helped me, but there's frustration on the pages that are on the bed.
Despite there being no moon out tonight, or this morning, I should say, the glow coming from the dagger has been strangely familiar and soothing, though. There's a familiarity in just the light it's giving off. And you sheath it.
I sheath it. And I just continue to gather my belongings, throw them in their leather-bound book as I tie the twine back up with all my parchment paper and put it in my pocket, and the books behind them as well. And I kind of just gather my cloak as I put it back, kind of just nestled around me tighter as I get up from the bed. And looking out the window, am I on the northern-facing window as well, towards the ocean?
You are not. Your room was actually facing more towards the temples.
The temples, copy.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything coming in? Do I see the entrance of the temple?
So you do see the entrances to the temple from where you are. You actually see from that angle as well a very... You know what? Make a perception check.
All right. 18. And sorry, that was on.
So you, in the distance, can make out a faint glow, reddish glow in the mountain range. Far, far back. And it looks like almost like blackish clouds coming from it.
Okay, good to know.
You just see on the horizon, you see the stars, and you can kind of see where the mountain range picks up from where the stars disappear. And you just see kind of this area that you're in. Again, from where you are, it's like this whole range kind of comes down, travels down a little bit more towards the coast, close to Pale Bank.
Is it flickering, this glow, or is it steady?
It's a very steady red glow.
How big is it?
Very big.
Very big. Okay, so it's not like a pinpoint out there. It's like can be very much observed by.
It is something that most people can see on a clear night.
Okay. Interesting. So I'll just kind of look for a second, look around, and stare at it, and I will take note of that as I turn away and head downstairs.
Okay. At this point, we will say that, Eleni, are you helping Billy?
Billy, do you need my help? Can I help?
If you want to just grab some plates for us, maybe just take care of the tea and the water while I scramble up some eggs. That'd be great.
Oh, the woman work, huh? All right.
I'm cooking here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Billy,
I got
it. Billy, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Hand check. How good is my cooking? It's a 7.
So Billy's trying to flip the eggs and make it look pretty great. And he flips and catches it and confidently tries it again and drops one.
Oh, no.
But then, being quick,
practice.
throws another egg back in and everything seems fine. Just kind of kicks the egg underneath the floor.
I got it.
Do I see this whole situation?
You
go
were
down?
getting dishes at this point.
So I see this whole egg fiasco. Yeah. So I'm holding the plates. I'm about to go set them out, and I turn to Billy and say, "Are you gonna be okay in here?"
I'll be fine. It was just, I didn't always cook. It's just, you know what? Just get the plates. I got this. Okay.
Eve, you have arrived downstairs at this point and are seeing Elenia coming out with the plates. It smells good.
Billy's making a mess in there.
I am not.
Oh. Billy can cook?
We'll see.
Well,
Maybe.
I'll make sure I'll keep my mouth shut, because last time I upset Elnor?
Arl.
Arl?
Arl.
Maybe go say good morning to Billy, but try not to fluster him too much. He's having a hard enough time as it is.
Oh no, then I'll just wait.
All right. Just don't say hi to him.
I don't know, maybe should I go say hi to him? I don't know.
Veritan, you encounter this on the stairs.
I just kind of silently observe as I make my way over to the hearth and sit down next to it.
Well, I guess.
Did Veritan just walk by everyone and not say a word, or was that just me?
Yeah, he's a strange one.
So high.
Right.
So.
I'm gonna go talk to him myself then.
And I'm sitting by the hearth and I'm pulling out my parchment paper and ink. Is there a little table kind of next to these chairs that I can?
There is not, but you can you see where it seems like Billy kind of performs. It's a little further out in the middle, but it is a smaller table than most of the other ones, so you could theoretically try and get that.
Okay, I'll be over there. Then, kind of taking out my parchment and paper and yeah.
Sure.
Are you sure you're gonna go over there while he's writing?
I'm just gonna say good morning and ask how many eggs he wants. And spy a little. Ding.
Oh yeah. Let me know what happens.
So I'm just gonna go over.
Elenia, go ahead and make a investigation check.
Where are you? Investigation.
Oh, shit. Damn.
So you do see that he has a bunch of pages out.
20.
What language are they written in?
Most of them are written in my Elvish language.
Elenia, do you understand Elvish?
Yeah.
I'm actually unsure.
I'm
Let's see. It would be down on the bottom left.
I know. I'm like trying to figure out. Like...
No. It would be here in the core.
It's actually all written in Celestial.
It's actually my own language I made up.
So despite the fact that you can see it perfectly, even though your night vision's not that good, and
I'm just like looking at it.
The
like...
coals are there. You're just beautifully looking at all this stuff, just like, wow, it looks so gorgeous, and you have no idea what it means.
Like, all right, so I'm not gonna like. I'm just gonna make that observation, and I'm gonna turn to Veriton and say, "Good morning, Veriton. How'd you sleep? How many eggs do you want?"
And I kind of just like look a little flustered at the questions as they come to me. Yes, I'm doing all right this morning. Slept okay. Seems to... You don't read Elvish by any chance, do you?
Is that Elvish?
Yes, most of this
no.
No.
Some of these, I feel that I tend to be a very studious person, but I've been having a hard time reading my own notes. And have you been feeling any sort of way in this town since you arrived here?
I mean, I've been here for a while. Hold on, just to circle back. So you wrote these notes and can't read them?
Well, most of it does make sense to me, but it seems that there's just gaps that aren't quite like me. And I'm wondering if this just makes sense to anybody else that were to read these notes. I'm sure it would not, as obviously my adventures may have differed from yours, just rolling into town a few days ago. But how long has it been specifically? How long have we been in town?
This is actually only you came in on the first day, late in the evening. You spent all day yesterday looking into clues, and this is your second day now that you're coming out.
Okay, I will stick with what I said. Just a few days ago here.
So it sounds like you have some gaps in your memory. You're finding things that are in your hand, but you don't remember writing them? Or you can't read them, they're in a language you don't understand.
And as I kind of sift through my pages, I start to clench the pages just a little bit tighter. I'm not quite sure, but I'm still trying to bridge a few gaps on how I even arrived to this town. I know I was found by Eve a few days ago, but...
Just out in the snow, though, right? Like, and you don't remember anything about how you got there?
I only remember a few things about the journey itself, and there was a flash of light, and then I woke up in the snow. Only I'm not sure what time or what part of day it was when I actually woke up, but there was Eve standing over me, and she did save my life, which I do note. I did remember noting that down, as you can see here, and I'd kind of show. Never mind. I'm just hoping that we can start to maybe find answers to the mystery that we're all looking for ourselves. Maybe that might guide me to the right direction of understanding what I'm doing here.
Right. It does sound like maybe you came here for a reason? To be determined. I don't want to make you think too hard so early in the morning. You've already divulged a lot. I just came over to say hello.
Yes, sorry about that. I'm just...
No, it's good.
On my mind.
I'm realizing there's a lot we don't know about each other.
Yes, but you did grow up here, and I'm hoping that maybe you can guide me to things that may trigger some sort of reason why I came here myself, if this is indeed the place I was supposed to arrive. I do have here in my book the name of this town here, but I can't quite remember why I would have written that.
You wrote it before you arrived here?
I believe so.
Interesting. Well, we can certainly do a tour of the town later. I need to actually go speak to my mother. She's in the lighthouse. She pretty much can see anything from there.
Yes, that'd be nice to have a sense of comfort and family. Although not mine, I do enjoy a good company.
At this time, the eggs have now been finished. Billy, whatever that you have made in the kitchen, it is ready.
Okay. So I come out with my my hot like cast iron skillet full of eggs, and I see everyone. I'm like, oh, good, everyone's here. Veritan, Elenia, Eve. Oh, Eve, hello. How you doing? I hope you had a good night. And, and I start to and I start dishing out eggs, and I'm good. I want to talk to everyone. I was thinking about something last night. I want to run past everybody, and then as soon as I done dishing out, I leave the skillet.
You realize there's a fifth dish somehow, and Rune is sitting there next to the dish.
And I look at Rune and I go, oh. And then I just give him a full helping, and I pet it. I try to pet it a little bit.
You don't reach it.
I don't reach
Rune just kind of slips around your hand while eating.
You're like water. I can't quite. Anyway, I sit down and I wait for everyone to get to the table. And I'm like, I was thinking about the dagger. If it wasn't the dagger that caused everyone to turn to ice, there had to be at least one. There had to be that meant one of the other items might be what's causing everyone to turn this way. And I was thinking, should we go back to Tolgi and ask her what other items on our receipt she actually physically interacted with? That might give us a clue to what of the other 5 might be the cause of this. What do you guys think?
I think that's a good idea. It probably is a good idea to check on her anyways, because she wasn't doing the best last we saw her.
Right.
Didn't we didn't we show Toby this list? I have the receipt, right? Or do you have the receipt?
I have. I do have. I think you technically have the receipt, but I remember what was on the receipt.
Oh.
We'll say. And did we ask her if she interacted with every single item, like physically? You know what I mean? Or did she just know of them? Is my question.
Oh, didn't she take all of these items that were on this receipt?
She helped steal them, but I don't know if she physically interacted with each of these items. But she wasn't the only. It was her and her sister who stole the items. DM, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that what she told us?
That is what she told you. She said that that she had the dagger, and Halil had the rest of the items.
Okay. So I would be curious to know if Tolgi physically touched either any of the other ones on the list, aside from just the dagger.
Yes, it might be a good idea to go just investigate. I know she left us with not the kindest of words, but...
Wasn't the best interaction.
No, but if she's smart, she knows that if we can figure this out, it might be a way to help her condition. So maybe on our errands before we head out to the Crooker Cave, we stop by her. Because if anything, that way, if we do come across the items, we don't interact with ourselves. We know which one could be the dangerous one.
Yes, that's not a terrible idea, I suppose. It'd be a good conversation to have one last time before we actually do make our way.
Agreed.
And as I'm like kind of looking at my notes, I look at kind of a freshly written note at the bottom of my page that describes the glow that I saw. I saw something strange this morning. I'm not sure if any of you saw beyond the horizon or close to the horizon, the mountains. There was a strange red glow occurring on the far distance. It seemed to be quite bright, actually. Was it pretty vibrant red, like deep red, or
Very deep, deep red.
like ruby red almost?
Like ember red.
Ember red. And I translate that. By any chance, do you know what may be over in that direction?
Are you talking west, east? You know,
It would be west.
He was facing the east.
Oh, okay. So I was on the backside, kind of from the shore. Okay. So yeah, on the eastern edge of the mountains.
I don't know. We can go. I pull out the that old map we have, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if on this map. I mean, I don't even know where we are on this map. Maybe we can go. There's a shop in town, I believe, and maybe they sell a map of the general larger area, and we can maybe go find that out.
That would be a fantastic idea.
Okay. So in the morning we see Tolgi. We go get preparations to go to Crooked Cave, and then we see, I believe, Elenia, you wanted to see your mom before we headed out.
Before we leave town, yeah, before we go to the caves at least. So
cool. What order should we can get supplies, we can see Tolgi, and then before we leave we can say hello to your mom. Maybe.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do it like that. Do I know I'm sorry, DM, do I know in what direction, if it's closer, like as far as like from the lighthouse or from Tolgi's house to Crooked Cave?
Directions. So Tolgi's is more on the way to Crooked Cave.
Oh, maybe we go there last then.
Right.
Okay.
That's why I was asking. Okay, cool. It's actually Crooked Cave
6
is
in the morning
closer.
at this point.
Okay. So Crooked Cave is closer to Tolgi's place, so it's probably better if we stop by the lighthouse first, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Makes sense.
It's also still pretty early, so maybe we...
Oh yeah, it is, huh?
Yeah.
What is it, 5 in the morning?
It's 6 in the morning at this point.
6 in the morning. Is your mom an early riser?
I don't know if she's going to be up this early. Maybe 7 or so she'd be getting up.
Okay. Well, maybe we go around town and see if how early do the shops open in town, DM? Would I know that?
It is 6 in the morning right now. The town has been a little bit slower just due to the holiday. But the shops typically will open more so with sunrise. This far north and this time of year, you're looking at closer to 8.
Damn. Well,
Time
we
to
can-
kill.
we can
up
find a
early.
way. We can find a way to kill 2 hours,
Well, 1 hour at least.
or 1 hour at least. Veritan, you said you wanted to see the ocean?
Yes, that would be quite the vision.
Well, that ought to kill at least 20 minutes. I say let's take him to the shore.
Perhaps some beach yoga?
Let's see. Yes, we will do some. I'm down. I could do another round of calisthenics. We can do a little beach workout and go say hello to Elenia's mom.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
Does everyone need to change or anything like that? Are we
No, I'm
ready to just go?
I came down in my winter
Okay.
gear.
Everyone came dressed. Cool. All
Okay.
right. Well, as soon as everyone's done with their breakfast, maybe we head out. Right?
Yep. These eggs were delicious, Billy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I learned how to make them aboard my ship, and yeah, I'm glad you like them.
Important skill to have.
Yeah, maybe. I think so. It's nice. Anyway, I should probably start cleaning up, and then I awkwardly like take plates that I probably still have food on them, and then I like go to the kitchen and I start cleaning up.
Okay, we will say that Billy, how much time do you spend cleaning up?
I do all right. I like make sure that that they're clean. You know,
Okay.
like leave no trace type.
So we will say for the sake of that then that it takes you around 30 minutes or so to kind of get everything on it nice and tidy.
Okay. Cool.
Oh God, can I go help him? Like, if I don't want to leave him for 30 minutes doing that.
Yeah.
I'm just singing sea shanties as I'm cleaning. Oh yo ho ho and a bottle of rum as I start cleaning up.
All right. So if Elenia and everyone else helping, then we'll say that it takes about 15 minutes.
Right. I feel like we would help. Like he
Yeah,
just
genuinely, yeah.
cooked everything.
And with that, let's head out.
Looks good. Let's go.
How much would like a meal of eggs cost usually?
Is this a DM question?
This is a DM question, yeah.
We will say that it'll cost, I'd say, for a decent meal, let's say each of you 4 silver.
Okay, I put down 4 silver in the kitchen on the counter, like next to the empty egg carton. Like,
sure.
I put it right there. And we head out.
Okay. Where are you going?
We are going to the beach. We're going to the docks to show that it's in the ocean.
All right.
And beach yoga.
And doing some beach yoga.
Okay. So at this point, what is the marching order?
I mean, I can lead us to the beach.
I'll just follow him back.
Just trying to figure out what everyone is.
Either Billy or I, because we
I'll
both
go
kind of
behind,
have been here.
Elenia.
I'll follow just up in the back, kind of taking my time, looking at the other shops and stuff.
I'll join. I'll be in the back with Veritan as we walk there.
All right. So as you all are heading out, you leave, and it's cold. It's very brisk in the morning. There's no wind, so you're not really going through your clothing. So for those of you that do not have warm clothes, it's definitely a little cold, but awakening cold. Eve, your cloak is not as warm as it was yesterday.
I have it match the other cloak, correct?
Yep. So as you all leave, you start heading down to the beach, and you can hear the waves crashing along the shores. Veritan, your eyes are wide open as the sun starts kind of coming up on the horizon. Again, it's coming up just behind the lighthouse. It seems like you can see it far on the right. It's like the mountain range kind of comes down, and it kind of creeps along to the shore, and there's like a little lip that sticks out. The lighthouse is on a little like kind of cliffside up there overlooking everything. There's a cove that comes around. The docks are inside there. You guys are on what looks like almost like a little like kind of divot of the land where it kind of comes in. Looks like it kind of, the cape goes up a little bit northwest. And you see, again, the range coming down to the east. Just behind the lighthouse, there's a glow. Sun's starting to come up, and it's beautiful.
DM, what color is the sky this morning?
The sky this morning would be, I would say it's right now kind of a faint pink, almost a little bit of green in there just because of the location of the time of year.
Okay.
It's very, very subtle right now because you are truly going from starlight.
Okay. I would turn to Veritan and I'd be like, it'd be good sailing today if we were to go out right now. It's a gorgeous day.
When was the last time you were out on the water?
Oh man, it must have been over a month now since I was out there.
It's beautiful. I've never seen anything quite like this.
You won't see anything like it since. It is the ocean is what freedom is. It is the best feeling.
How far in the distance have you traveled?
Oh man, I don't even know. We mainly went up and down the Sword Coast quite a bit, but there's been moments when you can't see the shore. All you see is ocean around you. And it's a little scary at first, but it's thrilling at the same time. Because it's where you want to go is up to you. There's no one directing you, except at night when you look up at the stars or up at the sun during the day. I'd recommend putting yourself on a sea voyage sometime.
There's so much to explore in this world that I can't even imagine opening this up for more exploration.
Amen, brother. There's a lot to see out there. And I've only seen what's out there. What's behind us, that for me is unexplored territory, and was never thought I'd be excited to leave the side of the shore. Part of me is itching to see what's more inland these days.
Well, you and I are one of the same on that one. There's a lot to be said about what the world of the inland can provide, and I've learned that every day.
Well, I'm looking to learn from it too. Maybe we can learn a little bit together.
I believe we can. And I kind of just look around, observe, watch as the birds fly overhead, kind of look at the light tower. Is the light on in the light tower?
It is still on.
It's on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shall we keep heading there?
Yeah, I assume we're going to the beach, to the shore, to the docks. Yeah.
So the way that you are heading right now, you're heading southwards towards the beach, towards the end part of the cove. You've just actually passed by several different. It looks like you're emerging from like kind of like the monotony of just like all the different residences kind of crammed together, and you're starting to see like a few like more shops. Looks like there's a blacksmith shop that you just passed by. Coming around, you're getting close to the yard. And you can see, for those of you that know what the yard is, most of it's kind of like held up, boarded up in a sense right now. But it feels, you can already kind of get the sense that it's going to be filled up pretty soon. Veritan, from what you understand, and Eve, from what you understand, it looks like there's just a number of, looks like things that could be potentially tied to boats and boat making and things of that nature in that area. And over in the distance, kind of, you have to kind of come around a little bit. You see the lighthouse, so you have to sweep along the coast and then come up on that ledge. It looks like there's like kind of a switchback through the cliffside that leads up to the lighthouse.
And also, before we move forward, like that conversation between
You were listening to it.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Elenia, you also heard this. It's quiet right now. You just the sound of the waves. So.
Right. Just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be honest, missed most like pieces of it because my lights were freaking out in my room. Sorry.
That's okay.
Billy was just discussing his time at sea.
Ugh, yeah.
Disgusting.
I would have interjected like something, but
I figured, but
fucking distracted.
Yep.
It's all good. So are we on the beach? We're on the docks?
You are making your way up. Elenia, for the sake of it, we will say that you have heard the conversation and you are leading them to your mother's over to the lighthouse. And if there's anything you'd like to comment on Billy being a sailor, you can interject with that.
The time has passed. Like
Okay.
I just will have like been listening to them.
We will continue along.
Makes sense now. Thank you. Then.
You are now making your way up the steps going up to the lighthouse. You see it. The light kind of a little bit more pale now just because the sun's coming up a little bit, but you do see it almost just glint a little bit off the mountains over in the distance and come across, sweep across. You do see almost the beam kind of spreading over to the clouds in the northern edge. and sweep away, coming along the shoreline. It's a beautiful sight.
All
Beautiful.
right.
You get up to the steps and arrive at the lighthouse door. Elenia, you are leading the way now. It is around 7, like 15 in the morning at this point.
Okay. Let me just maybe go up first and make sure that my mom is decent before I start bringing people in the house, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, yeah. Protocol. I get it.
Awesome. So I'm going to head.
Sure.
Um,
So you, Elenia, you move inside. There, shut the door. The air is calm inside. It's warm. Um, and as you go in, you look around and you can kind of see the layout. Again, the layout it's layered with all the things you're familiar with this, but you have your main floor downstairs as kitchen. There's a few other things. It's a pretty large space considering it's the base of the lighthouse. And you see the staircase that leads up to the second floor. You go up the staircase. Coming up to the second floor, you do start seeing some other like areas. There's like a little dining area, a window kind of overlooking some stuff. There is one like nice bed kind of in there. It is empty. And going up to the ladder, you then go up that one, come into the second room, your room. Again, overlooking everything. You see the windows coming out on the side. There's like a little door that leads into your room, and you pretty much have another ladder right in front of you that can lead up. So you do have your own little private area, but you've left it for the time being. Go up to the third ladder. Up top, you're getting now to the like inner workings of the lighthouse. So this is where all the pieces are in place to like kind of just keep it burning and going and such. And coming around that, you come up the steps and you find your mother exactly where you thought you'd find her.
Yay! Is she awake?
She is passed out next to the lighthouse fire. Big fur cloak all over her, another set of blankets and such. It looks like she had a bottle of wine with 2 glasses, and one of them stands with a full glass of wine. The other one is empty, and she is facing north towards the clouds.
But she's asleep.
She is asleep right now. It's a peaceful image, though.
Right. So I just, I guess I'm gonna just look upon her for a second and decide to probably go sit on the bed next to her, because if nothing else, I want to at least say goodbye to her.
It's not necessarily a bed as much as it is like there's the lighthouse center. Like she's right next to the fire, so it's pretty warm in a sense. Like you see like the beam kind of moving around in that sense. She's next to the mechanism that leads up into the glass that spins. And she's kind of laid out on a bunch of like furs and such things that are right there. So it's kind of like a bed.
Oh, okay. So she's just like kind of, okay. So either way, I'm not like taking her out of bed, but I'm gonna just sit by her, maybe like put my hand on her shoulder and be like, Mom, Mommy,
Odin, is that you?
No, it's Elenia.
Oh. Hi, honey.
Is Bowden home? Is Bowden back?
No, I felt like he was supposed to be back a few days ago, but looking out at that storm that's on the horizon, it's just, well, I worry he got caught on the Cape. Oh. What time is it?
It's about 7:15.
Oh,
Still pretty early.
normally I would be up, but... And she looks at the wine and kind of just looks at you and goes,
But yeah, no, I get it.
yeah, I'm hoping he'll be in soon. It's not like the Calypso to be this late. Where were you the last few nights?
I stayed at the inn. Sorry.
It's
fine. Met a couple people. There's been some stuff going on in the town. I wanted to actually. I don't want to alarm you, but people have been turning to like ice. We don't know exactly what's causing it, but people are going from walking around to being like human ice cubes within we don't even know how long of a period of time, and we got to kind of figure out how that's happening, how it's spreading,
Oh,
where it came
are
from.
you okay, dear? I mean,
I know
nothing's
it's a
gotten
lot
to
to lay
you,
on you. I know
right?
you just woke up. Good
No,
morning.
no, Elenia. Honestly, I mean, what with everything with you, I mean, nothing's gonna shock me anymore. So, if what you say is true, we should talk to Elro and let him know what's going on. Um,
Um, Elro, Elro already knows.
oh, he knows.
Yeah, it's gotten to him.
Oh, um, well, I don't know what else. Should I be doing something at this point?
Is there? I mean, it doesn't sound like you've seen anything that I'm talking about. Sorry to shock you with this information so early in the morning. Like I'm just waking up, but yeah.
Uh, oh, okay. Should I be oh, aware of something, I guess? I was planning on going into town later and visiting, just, saying hi to Arl, and I had to make some trips to the yard just in preparations for Bowden coming. And the lighthouse, it looks like the lens might be cracked. Ugh, the salt and the cold up here, just they never quite make the glass right.
Right. Um. Well, okay. It doesn't sound like you've seen anything. I was gonna have you maybe sit down with all of us downstairs and kind of get some perspective from you, but now I'm just kind of a little bit. I just don't even know if that's. Would you like to meet everybody? I
Sure.
I'm sorry. I'm a little bit.
No, no, you're I love the way that you fly into things. Yeah, I think I will. Uh, she like kind of takes
Okay.
her like fur and just wraps it around herself and just goes, "How do I look?"
You look good, but I mean, I can go down and you can like get dressed if you want.
Oh, I've been on a ship too long.
Then
No
as
one,
you are.
nobody cares anymore. She just comes down.
Okay.
She's clothed, but it's lightly. It's more so that she's got just the layers of furs on her at this point. She comes down, climbs on the ladder at this point. Both of you have been doing this for years. You're skilled. You know how to do it. She doesn't even miss a step as she comes down with all this stuff. You make your way down. It's been about, I'd say, 15 minutes at this point, give or
Oh
take.
damn. Hey guys.
Just going up, coming down. You guys are still outside. Is there something that you would like to have been doing while this is going on?
Yeah, I wanted to, just because we're waiting out there and I'm getting a little bit colder, I want to change my cloak back to,
How it
what,
was before.
yeah, how it was before with the fur around it
Sure.
and on the sleeves.
So, so as we're looking out, there's a little coastal breeze just kind of coming up. It looks like it's almost a natural breeze that shoots up under the cliffside and just kind of like swoops up on either side. Eleni, you're feeling a little cold. I mean, Eve, you're feeling a little cold, and you just decide on a whim that you want to change it. And Billy Veritan, are you looking at her at this as
I'm
any of
looking
this is
out in
happening?
the ocean.
Okay. So we'll say that you just turn around at some point and her cloak has shifted back to what it was before and kind of throws you for a second, but you now know that it's something apparently it does.
I turn to Eve and I'm just like, so you can make that cloak like turn into anything you want to look like.
Yeah, for if I can imagine it. I'm still learning about it. I haven't had it for a long time. But for the most part, if I imagine it, what I want it to look like, it'll change into it. I haven't tried it off of my own imagination, but
Ooh, why don't you try? Let's do a test. Try to imagine like the wildest cloak you can think of. Let's see what happens.
Okay. What if I did a ooh, what if I did like a floral pattern that's pink and white
So wild.
and wait, guys, here, look.
Right.
So wild.
Just
Okay,
let me imagine looks to her left.
Billy, as she's saying this to you, and you're both just kind of laughing, you kind of chuckle for a second, look away, and you look back, and the cloak is that pattern,
Oh man.
and it is ugly.
Oh
Oh
man.
snap!
Oh, you should probably. No, it looks good. You look very nice. You look very pretty in your cloak. Yes, you do.
How far down is the water? Are we above it?
You are. So right now you're kind of like up on side, like to a jutting little peninsula that kind of shoots out. That lighthouse is on that. You are looking down at kind of a jagged cliff that leads off to the edge. I'd say you're about 40 feet up right now.
Got it.
So you're kind of looking over the coast.
Got it.
Okay. We will say that for the sake of this, Billy and Eleni and Eve, you two are dicking around with the cloak for a minute, just kind of messing around with that. And as Elenia and her mother, who's not been introduced yet, come downstairs, they open up the door. And what does the cloak look like when her mother sees you, Eve?
Let's do this. Let's do that like it's right in the transition where we're saying where I know it. I don't think it looks good. And Billy's trying to say it looks good, and I'm in that transition mode.
Okay, so we will say that you have this kind of horrible floral pattern going on one side of the cloak, but that you've decided to change your mind and you're kind of like halvesy right now. So you have like kind of weird mangy fur coming up the one left corner, and it's not really working out either way. And Elenia, you open the door and see this image of the two of them arguing about this as Veritin is looking out in the distance. Oh, hello. What a lovely cloak that is. And she kind of just takes all the furs around her and just
what does she look like?
One off.
What does Elenia's mom look like?
Elenia, why don't you describe your mother?
So she's middle-aged but looks good for her age. Like probably I would say she's in her like late 30s. Maybe early 40s. And she's got blonde hair, but it's like kind of more of like a sandy tone, like very beachy. She's got like little freckles over her nose, just at the center. She's got eyes blue like the ocean, different from mine. Definitely like if I look like the like the sky, she looks like the earth. I would describe her look.
You also notice that there seem to be, especially on her, around her hands and her arms, which are kind of bare right now, just a few little ghostly scars.
She's my mom, but she's not necessarily like, you wouldn't think of her as being maternal, like maybe to anyone but me. But if it makes sense for our relationship.
Okay.
So, hi, I'm Avelina.
This is my mother.
Abelina, hello. I'm Billy, and I gingerly with my dragon claw hand. I gingerly take Abelina's hand and I shake it. It's very nice to meet you, Elenia. Here, well, I owe my life to her, and so I'm in your debt as much as I am hers.
You didn't tell me that you saved the dragon blood.
Yeah, sorry I haven't introduced you guys. Probably should have done that.
What are you doing out here? Not that that's a bad thing. I just haven't seen, well, a dragon blood in quite some time.
Well,
Not
it's
since I used to be down there.
Abilene, I'll be honest, I'm surprised I'm here too. It's my well, let's just say there was an unfortunate situation with my ship, and I woke up in Elenia's arms. That's pretty much it.
Haven't we
Yeah,
all?
so that happened, Mom. Sorry I didn't tell you about it.
Oh, Elenia.
Lots
Well,
been going on.
I see that you all seem safe, it seems, with whatever's going on.
Mostly, we're kind of the crack squad hired to solve this case of what's happening. So rest assured,
Hired.
Elro hired us to try and to get to the bottom of what's been happening.
Oh, strange. I wonder. Well, he is in remand right now. But why would he leave you to... Is there something else going on? Where's
Okay.
Elro right now?
As far as we know, he was at the what's the place he was at, that the watchtower.
Yep.
Yeah. He's at the last time we heard he's at the watchtower.
He must be visiting all of them at this point. Well, I can only imagine he's... Elenia, I don't know quite what you're into, but I know Elro trusts you, and I trust you after everything that happened. If he thinks that you need to be involved, there must be a reason for it.
Well, as I've been talking to you and introducing them to you, I'm realizing everybody's story seems to be that they're not sure how they got here, and we're all kind of here for some reason that involves all of us. It's just kind of all coming together, and we don't know exactly how the pieces fit.
Oh.
I'm gonna get up from. I was sitting down, kind of like my legs dangling, looking over the ocean, kind of listening to that. I'm gonna get up and I want to go introduce myself as well.
And she kind of has a hard time seeing you a little bit just because your cloak's really up. And it's dark out still. The sun is just cresting up, but you're behind the lighthouse, so you're kind of in shadow right now. Sorry, I'm having a little hard time, human eyes kind of thing. Are you an elf?
And I'll just take my hood off a little bit, but kind of hold around. And I'll take my right arm and put it out from my cloak. It's like, yes, I am an elf.
Oh, well, my, aren't you beautiful? I've never... What kind of an elf? That's such a rude thing. Elenia, I'm sorry, I'm being rude to you.
It's totally okay. It's not the first time I've had eyes stare at me like you just have. I am a pallid elf. You heard of the Pallid Grove by any chance?
I can't say that I have, and I've been many places, but mostly along the coast. Are you? You must be somewhere else. How strange.
Yes. Well, it's.
You're not from Uthodurn.
No. No, it's. Have you ever heard of a place called? And I'll kind of try to remember outside of the Pallid Grove.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of give a really shabby description of even the outskirts due to just kind of my reading of notes this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It comes off very poor of my description to where the Pallid Grove actually is.
She just kind of nods her head. Well, there's...
I'm sorry.
I must say there's a lot of mountains, quite a few different ranges. But it sounds like you were in a valley between some mountains. And
Have you ever heard of a town called Guardian by any chance?
Guarded.
Yes, it's quite
Well,
far from here. If I'm... Yes, for
I
some reason that's just coming to my mind.
the name sounds. I can't say that I've been there. Normally, where we would travel, we move up and down the Menagerie Coast traditionally, um, but we change things. And I have to say, Guardian seems similar, or like I've heard of it. I think it's. Oh, maybe it's. Is it west? Oh,
This...
if I wish Bowden were here, he would have much of a better answer. Um, Perhaps when he comes in town, hopefully he'll be here soon.
Any day.
Yes, I would love to meet him. I think I was supposed to be here. As I was talking to, just as Elenia said, it seems that overhearing what Billy just said, we may be suffering the same sort of... Well, if I woke up in Eve's arms the same way Billy woke up in Elenia's arms, kind of looking around the group, I'm just kind of hoping perhaps... How long have you been living here?
Oh, we've. Well, it's been, I'd say, maybe
About
a
4
little.
years?
Yeah. Has it really been that long?
I think so.
Jesus. Well, who is Jesus? That doesn't exist in this world. How do I know that name?
Poseidon?
Oh, well,
And seeing kind of... I'm going to reach my hand out to shake her hand. And seeing her hands... you said there's like scarring all over it?
mhm.
I'm going to do a proper handshake with her and take off my leather gloves. And I'm going to shake her hand. Well, it was a pleasure to meet you.
And as you do this, she gazes directly into your eyes and glances ever so slightly down to your hands in a manner that you can see she is perfected to where it's not rude, and does so and just politely continues shaking your hand as if it was nothing, and then just gives you a nod.
And I will put my
Seems
gloves on.
Seems we all have stories to tell here.
Seems like we do.
Say bye to her.
Ah, yes, you with the ugly cloak. I mean,
Easy.
forgive
Not that
me.
bad. It's a decent cloak.
Would you like any of the furs? Anything, maybe?
Oh, no. It's totally fine. And then I want to imitate her fur and make it my cloak.
Okay, so as you say this,
Yes.
she just kind of like motions to her cloaks, and she looks back, and you are in like a full-on, it looks almost like a polar bear fur cloak,
Yeah.
super thick on the inside, but like you decided to add your own touches to where like it's got a nice white outside, kind of like a little bit of like almost imagery coming into it. And she just goes, I take it back. That's a lovely cloak you have there.
Thank you. My name's Eve, and this is my cloaks of many fashions.
I like her. And she just talks to Elenia that way.
Yeah, me too.
I believe. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, Abelina, if I may. Do you feel like there would be a reason Elro would employ Elenia's? Is there a particular reason you feel he would employ Elenius for this job?
I personally feel like were you involved somehow with something, perhaps? I mean, it feels like Elro has a soft spot for Elenia, mainly because of Bowden. The two have gone back for a while. It's one of the reasons why we got the lighthouse. Elro's been good to us, and he's a kind man, stoic but kind. He doesn't really. Well, he doesn't talk much about what's going on, but at the same time, though, he's thinking all the time. You can better believe that. He's one of those that leads almost as a one-man band I know most of the glass blades are out with the new year. Most are coming back from Uthadurn right now, so I can imagine that he's short-staffed. But to employ you, well, the only thing I can think of is, did something happen that he would suspect the glass blades?
I mean, I kind of look to Elenia for like, is there anything? I really don't know. He hasn't.
What?
It felt very circumstantial. We just all happened to be in the tavern when the guy froze, and it seemed like he just picked us because we were there.
Well, okay, there's a lot that just was discussed there. So you were in a tavern and someone froze.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I think we all quickly tell her what happened the night.
Okay,
that
we
got.
will say that you give a brief explanation.
We
As
give a
all of you
brief
kind of jumping
explanation.
in and everything, and then finally Veritzen just looks at his notes and then gives an actual explanation because the three of you are kind of just like going off.
Yeah, I kind of
And-
started to tell her, but
Yeah, so she's
Okay.
just kind of sitting there like, Ergon, and Pelk too. Tolgi is, well, she's an interesting one, but still, but for what she did for Pelk, oh, poor Pelk.
Yeah.
What you're saying is true. It sounds like Ergon had talked to Elro about this, and it seems like Elro and the Glass Blades knew about this, and they were, I guess, quarantining Ergon. And who else knew? You said the priest, correct? Trevor and Dean.
Yes.
Okay.
The two priests.
Well, I would say that if Elro seems shocked that Ergon was attacked, then someone knew where Ergon was when no one was supposed to know where Ergon was, or that he even had this malady or whatever this is.
Mhm.
So if the people he trusts to have known perhaps did something, this is speculating at best, but
Right.
I would say that perhaps Elro's just checking to make sure that there's not something else going on.
And as she kind of says all that, I'm going to just inquire with her. So you're saying you've traveled pretty far in these lands, yes?
Well, mostly along the coast.
And I'm going to pull out the little map. By any chance, do you recognize any of these locations?
Which map?
The
Mysterious
mysterious
map.
map.
Oh, sure. Where did you get this?
I managed to find it on our path. Just
Yes.
kind
In
of.
our investigation, we stumbled across it.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to say that you probably got it from Ergon or Pelks, but as to what it is, I believe it's Easel Cross. I've never been there. Bowden will make the trip on occasion. In fact, I think he might be returning from around there this time, but now that you mention it, I think he did take Ergon back the last time.
Speaking of maps, Abelina, would there be a place in town that sells maps that maybe we can put this map we have here into greater context of where we currently are in Palebank?
Well, you're in the graying wildlands along the biting north, as they call it. I mean, we are within the domain of Uthadurn. It's pretty far north.
Mm-hmm. Do you know where this map would be in terms of where we are currently?
I have a faint idea. I think that Easel Cross, at least, is somewhere northwest of here.
Oh, yeah,
It's
farther north.
if you thought you were north before,
Yeah.
it's
Northwest.
a big, yeah, it's a place. Majority of the adventurers that come through here, well, most would call them adventurers, but well, a lot of people go missing. Let's just say that. Some leave. Some people start families here. They go to explore. Never hear back. Some of them we have contact with. We do know that there's at least, I think it's Sylvania. I had to check with Bowden. There is a port that most people typically come into, but from there it's, well,
A port to get to Easel Cross.
well, the Easel Cross would have a port.
Right.
I mean, I imagine there'd be, who knows? It's a rather large map from the look of it, but at the same time, I don't really have much context with this. It might be this big.
Right. Would there be a place in town? As I've only been here a month, so I'm a little familiar. But would there be a place in town that might sell maps to help put this in context?
Billy, you're sweet, and if you've been here for a while, you must realize Palebanks is a smaller town by most standards. We don't have map makers typically here, and if you were looking for something fine, I'd say Uthodurn would have more things of that nature that you're talking about. But that being said, unless there's some traveling merchants or someone that might have something special, around here you'll find what's in the yard. Most of the things are working things, things to fix boats with, manage stuff. It's the survivor's coast up here. Most people aren't concerned with maps. But
Copy that.
if Bowden does arrive, I can imagine that he'd have, well, some maps.
Yeah. Right.
If you can convince him to show them to you, that is.
Right. Right.
You know how captains are. And she just looks off, kind of lost in thought for a second.
Oh, trust me, I do.
Do you see a lot of traveling merchants coming through this town?
Well, I suppose not many, but enough. We're pretty, well, we're north. But at the same time, though, we've been turning into kind of I guess, a spot for people to leave to Easel Cross, you could say. A lot's been discovered there recently. I think I keep hearing this word, Aor, I believe. Something, but there's apparently things. Pelk used to sell what came back and forth here and there. Some would come up to her, basically, and buy, well, expensive things. But some people leave to just go and find stuff. Others just use this as a point to kind of get to Uthodurn. We're just more of a, I guess you could say we are the attempted port that Uthodurn wanted to create, since the mountains didn't really have the ocean within them.
Have you by any chance seen any halflings traveling through here?
Halflings? I can't say that I have.
That's no worries. I assumed that was a long shot.
But hard to say. I don't typically visit with everyone that comes through here, but perhaps.
Well, I mean, unless anyone else has any other business, we don't want to take too much of your time. Belinda, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you. And like I said, I am in your debt. So this, before I was a sailor, I did work on the docks. So if there's anything you need help with, I'm good with fixing things. You let me know, and I'll be happy to help you out.
Good with fixing things.
I've gotten pretty good at fixing things.
Well, I will say that the lighthouse could use a little fixing. But perhaps later. You seem busy. We'll talk, Billy.
Let me take a look at it. Show me what you're talking about.
Well, it's gonna take a minute to get up there.
Well, then I'll take 2 minutes.
Okay.
How tall is this building?
It's about, between everything, I'd say you're looking at around 65 feet. It's a good sized lighthouse. Like, it seems like it was built with solid stone, like good stone. It's one of the most permanent structures in the entire village.
Is it your classic like circular?
Yeah.
Shoot.
That,
Okay.
And Veritim, we will say that as you're kind of looking into this, you can feel the winds also kind of pushing in around the lighthouse, and you get the sense that the shape of it is tied into trying to withstand the winds that keep kind of coming up from all sides. So, Billy will say that you go up. Elenia, do you follow or no? You all are out on the porch at this point. Okay, everyone's going to follow it.
I'm curious.
Okay, so we will say that it takes you all, it's about 7:45 at this point. We're going to say it takes about 15 minutes for all of you to kind of get up top and see this.
Going through each layer, I just kind of want to see, I just want to look around, like if there's any pictures or, like step into the mind of Elenia's world and like her mom and just kind of observe who she is.
So you notice that first floor,
Snoop.
you come inside, and again, you have the kitchen. It's clean. It's nice. It seems like they've been here a minute. You do notice inside also in the first floor that there is a full-on kind of maiden, like the one that you see on the front of ships, like kind of mounted to the wall. And there's just some like loose other things. They have the rope lanterns, that like kind of hang down with the glass balls, like the old Japanese buoys. It'll be like those inside. And as you come up, you notice the second floor has an opening where you can kind of just jump down theoretically if you wanted to, but it's still like, I'd say about 12 feet up in the air. And come up, and on that second floor again, you see the master bed and windows kind of overlooking everything. So you do get almost a 360 view, but they're small.
Okay. Yeah.
As you come up to the ladder, going up, Elenia's room is there. Elenia, would you have left the door open or closed?
I'm going to say that like as we're going by my room, I'm going to close the door because I definitely didn't close it before.
Great. As you close the door...
That's my room.
A bunch of feathers that were just kind of floating in there just kind of float out and just...
You keep an ostrich in there, I see.
Just in the pillows.
Elenia, you are aware of the faint breeze that's kind of blowing through there, having left the windows open. As you get up to the top of the lighthouse, we will say that you've made up everything coming around. You get to the top, and there at the top, Avelina turns to Billy. Well, I don't really know if this is something you can do, but I'm afraid that it sounds a little complicated, but the heat of the fire, well, the blacksmith says that it's too much of a difference between the cold here and the hot here, and something about the glass just didn't mix right. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm noticing some cracks here, and I'm afraid the lighthouse will break, and then from there, who knows what will happen.
Are there cracks on the walls, or
it's actually in the Fresnel lens? Like there's a large glass lens. It looks.
Is it something? Is it mendable?
Would you like to try?
I would.
There are several cracks throughout.
Okay.
But as she's mentioning this, you're kind of taking a look at it. The heat is hitting, the light's hitting your scales right now, and you look bronze. There's a golden glow coming from this lens right now, and there's a faint blue kind of from behind you as but the sun's coming up, and you're right on the edge right here, and you look very much like a bronze.
Cool. I feel like I don't notice that. I'm too focused on the looking at the lens.
Sure. And as you're all seeing Billy kind of standing there, this interesting figure kind kind of silhouetted. He focuses for a minute and almost cocks his head as if listening for something. And it feels like he's almost like adjusting a note on something that doesn't even exist. And then he touches the quartz, and you just see this like kind of crack go, and as it closes, this faint ding, and the other crack on the other side, ding, and each one slowly starts to seal up. Avelina is dumbfounded at this point. That
Yeah, and I continue until each one is.
that is incredible. What? Oh, Elenia, I'm so glad that you saved him.
Solid
So
plan,
am I.
huh?
So am I, Abelina.
I think you could have just been a buoy out there, but here we are.
He kind of looked like a buoy from far away.
A badass buoy.
Soup's useful.
How did you see him, anyways? Oh, I can only imagine what you did. Oh,
Actually, that's a great question. Elena, how did you notice me? I'm a blue dragon in the blue ocean.
girl never tells her secrets. And Avelina just kind of guides Billy out.
I'm up there with everybody, just watching, looking around. We have a 360 view, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we see that red light?
You do. You do see it.
So I'm gonna go to the side where that is and just kind of look back at towards Avelina. Just be like, do you know by any chance what that is over there? And I'll point to the red light.
Sure. And so as you're saying that, she kind of looks out. Oh, and the sun's starting to rise now. You're really starting to see the kind of jagged edges of the mountains as like the lights coming up over it. But she does see that glow that you're pointing at just in the distance in the smoke. Oh, with the smoke. What? That's. I mean, I guess that's kind of within the domain of Uthadurn, but that's. How did they say it? Kravarad? Kravarad? You'll have to ask one of the
Is that two
dwarves.
words?
They say it so much better. But it's the volcano that is over there.
Is it active? Is that dangerous here?
Okay.
Well, I do know that Uthadurn is pretty old, and they've. Granted, it's not all. It's connected, but not connected. I've never actually made the journey myself, but I've talked to enough to know that, well, the dwarves and elves live within there, and it's most of the range, I guess you could say.
They live on the side of the volcano?
No, I believe that the volcano is perhaps a source of heat. It's rather cold up here, but I know that Uthadurn is, well, it's in that area.
That's fascinating. I've never actually seen a volcano before.
Neither have I. That might be a.
Didn't really know what it was until, well, Bodun kind of explained it to me. Frankly, Erlo is, or Elro, I should say, is much more of a talker. But yeah, well, Arl had some stories, but oh, poor Arl.
This is fascinating. And I'll just kind of, look at her, smile, and thank her, and turn around to Billy. This is a fine job you did here.
Oh, it was nothing.
Is that something you learned on your travels out in the ocean?
You can say that. And then I start making my way back down.
And right before you do, Avelina comes up and she goes, Billy, I got a little tear right here in my cloak. Do you mind just getting that too while you're at it?
Sure. And I do the same thing to the cloak.
And she just turns back to Elenia and she goes, she's great.
I'm just going to start climbing down the ladder, just kind of watching.
All right, we will say at this point, everyone's kind of made their way down.
Yeah.
Are you all just kind of going down to the first floor in a sense?
Yes,
I'll probably just, yeah.
So by the time you guys get down, and Avelina at this point is rather talkative, just kind of talking about the lighthouse and how they've been there a while, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we did so many things, but I'm forgetting all of them right now. It's been so long since we talked about it. I guess was lost in thought there, but yes, perhaps I'm sure we'll see you sometime, but um,
We'll visit when we get back.
yeah, Elenia, be safe. And this, well, Croaker Cave, I know is a bit dangerous, but I do think that if what you've said is true about everything, then, well, it seems that you said Halil was Tulgi's sister.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Halil, well, she must be in Croaker Cave, and whatever's there, it seems like she has, I would assume, the missing items from the list, because unless they did something else with them.
That seems to be what we're hoping, at least. Seems
Right.
that the whatever this infection is or plague is cursing your town, or a curse at that. The trail leads straight to Helenia.
I
Or
I
sorry,
would
yes,
Halil.
Halil. Yes, that's the
I
word.
was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I
That's
I
another
would
campaign
say
seeping in.
whatever you do, be cautious, be smart, but also perhaps be, well, quick. I Who knows how long that will stay there, and whose hands might get it next.
We're hoping it's ours, whatever it is. We could finally put a stop to this.
I've never heard of anything like this. I'll see if I can talk to Elro at some point, but um, you be safe. And good luck. And she's pointing at you, Veritan. Are you cold?
A little bit, but this cloak does a thing or two keep me slightly warm. It's not the heaviest of jackets, but
I would say well, most of you, especially you're talking about Easel Cross, I can't imagine going there, but if you feel cold, at least, I have some furs, older furs I could donate. I'm not sure how you're going to fit them into a cloak, but I'm no seamstress. But, well, if come back to me if you need to.
thank you for that. I'm sure we will be seeing each other again. And I'll kind of look over at Alina as I say that, or Elenia.
Right. I'm gonna grab my cloak. Just because you reminded me it's gonna be cold.
All right.
I'll. Is there any that fit me? I mean, is she holding it? Are they pointing? Is there like?
So they are just furs. There are furs that they have. It's not like a cloak in any way. It's more, she was making a suggestion of just like perhaps you could use them, but she like having the use of furs, but she wouldn't have the skill to make or give you anything in that sense.
I'll take one from her.
Okay.
If she's offering. I've almost frozen myself to death in the snow once. I suppose it's probably a second time is not worth seeing.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
They're a bit heavy, but and well, it will help at least something, I suppose. But they're a rather pain in the butt to walk with, as you can tell. She's been holding it the whole time around her. So she gives you looks like kind of like an older cloak, but at the same time, though, it's nice. Warm, thick fur.
I will take
not
it.
Cloak, sorry. I should say like a thick pelt.
Cool. I'll take it and I'll kind of roll it into a roll as much as I can. And then I will, with my right hand, grab it and slide it into my pocket on my jacket.
Do I see Veritan do that, where he takes this giant
thing
and slip it down? Dude, I'm asking if I do.
Were you listening to this conversation and part of it?
I imagine I'm waiting outside for him.
Okay, then I would say that you've already stepped out and you probably did not see this.
Okay, copy that.
Elenia, you perhaps have been there, or I would say that were listening to this and you do kind of see this.
Mhm.
Eve, what are you doing right now? Are you kind of there, or
Yeah, I'm there. I think everyone should, like, definitely. I'm not worried about my warmth, so I think Barrington should take the fur, and I'm just looking at the volcano.
you're now on the bottom floor? We're inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
And
we will say that.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We will say that for the sake of it, Elenia, you're the only one that witnessed this.
And as it kind of slides all the way in the pocket, Rune is going to jump out and crawl up my shoulder and just kind of sit on it.
Well, aren't you a lovely fur?
What's a baby Jiggin?
I can't say that I've ever seen. What are they?
Well, I'm still trying to figure that out myself, but he seems to have helped me so far. He'll keep me as warm as he can, and I'll give him a little scratch with my left hand. He seems to have made a home close to me at all times. I'm not sure what kind of home exactly it is, but I know he's safe.
I must say, it's hypnotizing. She kind of looks a little deeper. Oh, I forget myself. I think. What? Sorry.
Are you okay?
I guess no. I'm fine. I just kind of got lost in memory there for a moment. Well, be safe. And be careful. Those frogs in there are. Oh, they're rather big, from what I've heard.
Yes. Have you heard more than that about them?
I've just heard that most of the villagers kind of avoid that place just because there's some large frogs over there.
Well, that'll be quite the journey, won't it? And I look up at Rune. Just kind of switches shoulders.
But that being said, if you do manage to go over there and, well, you all look rather capable, and she kind of brushes up against Billy, I would say that perhaps keep the legs. They go for a fair price in the yard.
Good to know.
Keep the legs.
Keep the legs. Good to know.
Ridiculous. Okay, so all right. Well, we should probably be off then. Mother, it was great seeing you. Thank you for your hospitality.
Oh, Elenia, you come in like the wind. Well, yes, it's been nice. I think I'll go to sleep now.
Sorry to wake you up. Yeah.
Bundles up. Goodbye.
It's been great meeting you, Evelina. Again, if there's anything, you just
Opens the door again. Goodbye.
I thought she was like. I thought as we were saying goodbye. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm done.
She's tired. But yeah, all right, cool. So,
Your mom was lovely, Elenia.
thank you. I could tell she took a liking to you. She's half drunk, half asleep. 100% awesome.
Totally okay. She seems awesome.
Thanks for fixing that, by the way. I could tell she really appreciated it.
Yeah, that was like I said. That's just the beginning of the amount of favors I owe both of you. So it was no trouble. So should we head to the yard, see if there's anything that we can, any supplies, if there's anything you think you guys need before we possibly head into a scrap with frogs? And
Well, don't we need to stop by Tolgi's?
Yeah, I figure we'll head to the yard on the way to Tolgi's. We'll do a little shopping.
Got you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And see what's there.
Yeah, I think it's better to go shopping first, get our supplies, because we don't know how long it'll take to talk to Tolgi.
Right. She was
Right.
also pretty crabby last we saw her, so we might want to go in with supplies anyways.
She was
Yeah.
also already afflicted by whatever this is traveling around, so I'm hoping
She was. So hopefully we're not too late in talking with her.
Yeah. We don't quite know what we're walking into.
Exactly.
heading up.
So are you all heading down?
We are.
Heading
May I
down.
ask? Can we take this a moment to do just a little bit of a biology break?
Oh, yeah. Go for it.
Cool.
Biology glitch?
Actually, same.
What?
A full-on, not a bio break,
It is.
biology.
Physiology, maybe?
Yeah.
That's some cold soup.
Dude, I
Yum.
need the worst soup. What did Harrison, Juju? Guys, look at Harrison.
Oh,
Right.
he's so sweet.
Right there.
He's so sweet.
I know. I want another cookie, but at the same
Where
time.
are you?
I'm in the closet.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
I thought you might be.
I love this closet.
Oh, I love the closet too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been in here in a hot second. But I should have because well, yeah, no, I've been studying in my bed recently. Like, I don't know why laying in bed for my finals and all my assignments in the past like 2 weeks has been like, I need to be in bed. And I focus, like I don't even pass out. And so this is very similar to my bed, but it allows Harry to be next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I do such less productive work when I'm in my bed.
Well, I have phases. So either sometimes I need the office, sometimes I need my bed, sometimes I need the spot right next to the kitchen.
Coming in through the mountains, guys.
Yeah, and then sometimes I work best like right in front of on the coffee table. Like I am so ADD with like where I have my height of productivity. So like sometimes, and I've noticed it's based on my mood. So if I am so tired and I'm like, I don't want to start the day, I don't want to get up, but I want to get stuff done. Sometimes, babe, can you get me a cookie? The black one. Yeah. So sometimes I'll have like the bed is just best for me because my body can relax but my mind can work. Sometimes my mind doesn't work and my body is more awake, so like going and sitting at a table will help my mind get back into focus, whereas like if I'm in bed my body can rest while I focus.
Got it. Interesting.
I know I like studying and it'll stay for like 2 weeks, maybe a month, and then it'll change up and I'll be like, okay, I need something different.
Talking about your study habits.
Yeah. I saying that like I like studying in my bed, but like I'm not always like that.
Right.
Yeah. Like sometimes it's like easier to get work done in your room, and other times you're like, I don't want to do work in my room.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I'm like that with writing sometimes. You know, usually I'm at my desk, but every now and then I like to like go outside or just be in like in the kitchen or just like a change of scenery can often help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Whatever environment is least distracting at that time for me.
Yeah.
I get that.
Like, Jesus.
That's a bomb ass cookie you got.
That looks like a good cookie.
That's a good looking cookie.
Joey's mom brought us like a whole
course.
plate
Oh,
of
she
cookies.
makes the best cookies.
Of course. Of course.
Kathy Henderson,
She
you've
makes-
done it again.
She seriously makes the best cookies.
The queen of the baked goods, man.
Yeah.
I was telling him your mom brought us a whole plate of
Oh,
cookies.
Jesus,
Joey.
dude. I wish you guys were here. There's so
Like,
many.
literally, it's
I
like,
wish I was there too. Shit.
My last day of work this year is Wednesday. I'm coming to get a cookie.
You should, because dude, you know those chocolate ones that she makes with
Oh,
the
I
powdered sugar on
know.
them?
Oh, I saw it.
She made them with York peppermint patties inside of them.
Fuck yes, she did.
I don't even know how she did it.
I've
That's
never
amazing.
did she use peppermint patties or did she just use peppermint oil?
No, she used actual York peppermint patties.
Like,
Oh,
how-
what?
That sounds
and
so
chopped it up
awesome.
and put it in the cookies.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
well, they were lit.
Yeah, like I'm just like, who are
Okay.
you?
They were
Yeah.
like Girl Scout cookies, but like soft.
Yeah, let's just put it this way. Kathy has definitely made me like high maintenance. Like, so
With
she's
cookies.
yeah, she's experimenting. So like for me, that cookie was bomb. But would I prefer the original over the peppermint? Yeah.
Yeah, but like at the same time, that was great. Like I'm not mad about it.
Yeah,
To mix it up.
Perfect.
Mhm.
But wait, see, this is why like I'm not high maintenance when it comes to cookies. I'm just spoiled.
Right.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a reference, when someone, you know what, we're not even gonna get it.
I'm really glad that we're gonna cut this out of the episode.
No,
Yeah.
no, it stays.
God,
Everyone needs to
remains.
know the politics
Yeah.
about the cookies.
You know
Can
what? I want to go back and see Evelina and see if she makes cookies.
Yeah.
She ain't making them this morning, tell you that.
uh,
Look at what Tatum made Joey.
oh God,
Shut up.
It's a full blanket.
a full-on blanket.
Aw, that's cute.
I told her, I'm like, this is the most trash thing
That's
I've
actually
ever
pretty
seen.
cute.
Adorable.
That is
I
cute.
hate it.
That's
it.
your
I
love
like
in
it.
a quilt.
I really like it. That's
Yeah,
a very,
it's
very thoughtful gift.
You're literally.
Yeah, Tatum got us all thoughtful gifts. I was like,
Yeah,
fuck.
that's really cute.
I told him, he was like, "Oh my god, this is trash," and I was like, "Well, at least I didn't get it for us. Like someone."
That's
God.
true.
It would
That
be. It
is
would
true.
be worse. It would be
That'd
a
be
little
way
worse.
This
worse.
is so worse.
Yeah. The fact
Yeah,
that a friend got it for you guys
Yeah.
is like, that's cute.
That's very cute.
You know?
Yeah.
When your girlfriend gives you that, that turns into one of those like crazy ex-girlfriend stories later on, where you're like, dude, remember that chick?
Yeah. It was 2
Yeah.
weeks in, and she gave us this quilt.
Like, where did she even get all those photos?
Yeah, I do not remember half of them. I'm asleep.
Yeah, we didn't even take this one.
She's like photoshopped her head onto
Exactly.
previous boyfriends.
But surely she just cut my face out and pasted it physically on a different.
It's
Oh,
like
shit.
her ex-boyfriend, but she cropped out the face and
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
All right.
All right.
Okay, coming back in, you all have exited now. The sun is coming up. It's illuminating just over the dockside. You're kind of seeing, again, from where you are right now, you have an interesting vantage point because you're looking out over the docks. You can see the village up on the left-hand side, kind of spreading out across. You'll see a little bit more of the large like palisades kind of coming around it, where it's all the big wooden like huge beams kind of stack by stack by stack by stack, kind of where it's the raised pointed logs that are stacked in place to create a fence all around this kind of edge. You don't really see over it necessarily, but you do kind of see that amidst the trees and the village. And looking out across the bay, you also see faintly where you kind of were for Tolgi's cabin-ish on the other side, you could say. And then you know that along the coast along there leads to Crooker Cave.
Okay.
Sweet.
So we want to head to the yard, get some supplies, and then head to Tolgi's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we do.
As you head down to the yard,
To the yard.
To the yard.
you start seeing people coming around. It starts just feeling like it's definitely been filling up this whole morning. Things are, well, it's busier, you could say.
Before we
coming
walked
in.
in, Rune's gonna run back in my pocket.
Sure. It just kind of
Yeah.
disappears, not even a lump. All right. So, as you get down there, just you hear again the docks kind of creaking along the side. There's a lot of people actually kind of gathering. Most seem to be just kind of going to their normal things. Different dwarves, elves. There's an occasional human, but you don't really see much of them. Mostly it's dwarves and elves that you're kind of seeing. And from this look of it, I'd say there's around roughly 25 different people kind of just plying their trade. Most are just kind of moving out. Looks like they're getting some fishing boats ready. Other ones seem to be repairing nets and doing different things of that nature. You do hear in the distance the hammer of Sounds like a forge, perhaps. Um, just different things kind of going on.
Do I hear any sniffling coming from that forge? I'm just kidding.
The same guy. I would love that. I'd fucking love
That's
that.
great.
It's his brother.
Yeah, it's brother. I just kind of observing the elves. Does it look like the elves and dwarves are getting together? Are they friendly? Most of the elves and
absolutely.
dwarves, they're working together.
The elves and dwarves, it feels incredibly normal from the look of things that the elves and dwarves are together. There is nothing even remotely weird about it.
Is there anybody looking at me?
Your hood is up right now, and you guys are kind of coming down the coast from the lighthouse. You're still on the way kind of down, looking at everything. Most people are just kind of doing their jobs.
Okay.
It's early still. People are kind of getting into the day. It's a chill about, but most people don't care.
Okay.
Is there a place that sells armor around here?
There is, and as you're kind of coming down, you do see the main area. Elenia, you know where this place is. There's a blacksmith again a little further up, but it's kind of like all kind of smashed together where, again, it looks like almost like a row of things where there's just a lot of like the different like trade that kind of comes in, and they call it the yard. And we will just say that you can expunge this, but just because of the fact that everything seems almost under one like kind of netted massive area, like where it's all kind of like a bunch of shops all together, kind of crammed into one spot, all along the dock side.
Welcome to the dark side.
As he's kind of looking for this, I'm scanning to see if there's any, just kind of, bookstores, or if there's any, like, since this is a naval area, any, cartographer area or, mapping of anything.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check. And as you're walking down, Eleni, we will say that you're leading the way.
Ooh. A big old 6, baby.
Veritan, you actually get to go with advantage.
I do. I get to roll it one more time.
Good for you.
Thank God.
20.
Oh, that's a lot better.
So
rags to
you,
riches.
despite the fact that you looked and seemed like you saw nothing, you did a double take and you suddenly saw all of the yard in one pass, and you've noticed where the main shops seem to be in terms of like where it looks like people are kind of like actually doing trade goods that you might be interested in. But for the most part, it doesn't seem like there's any place that would have the things that you're looking for, like things to make maps or anything of that nature. In fact, most of this area feels like it's typically kind of got a layer of a sea breeze coming in. There's some salt. The area that you do see where it looks like maybe there's some armor and things, and you hear a lot of the hammering coming from, is a bit more covered. And you can see a thick layer of salt kind of gathering on. It looks like furs and different things, like just like skin pelts. But other than that, nothing that you can find, at least in this area.
And the elves that are kind of hanging out around the area, how can I gauge their age?
It's hard to say with elves, as you would know. Most of them, judging from the way that you are acquainted with elves, I would say that most of them feel like they could be within their first century to probably mid-century. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of older elves here.
Okay. I just great. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Elenia. Hey, Elenia. What are you doing out here? And Rurik Braunanvil comes up and says hi.
What a name.
With his apron on, and he's got just kind of a layer of sweat already. Could have been from just walking here. Kind of a thicker dwarf. Shows up. He's got his hammer in hand. Oh, Elenia, what are What are you doing here? Nice to have you in the yard. I haven't seen you in a while.
Hey Rick, we're just here looking for some stuffs.
Oh, what kind of stuffs? Me and my brothers, we got all kinds of stuffs. Oh, I mean, Corvo, what are you working on over there? And you just see this one dwarf just in the back, just kind of sewing a bunch of shit. It looks like he's just like thatching something together. Um, Corporal. Baron, what do you got? And he looks over, and there's a elf that's sitting over there. Oh, just working on this leather over here. Just nice stuff. Hi, Elenia. Kind of goes back to his stuff, and then Rurik just looks back at you. Damn brothers. Swear to God. Moradine looked at me, blessed me with good looks. Corporal over there. I mean, just look at him. And you just look over, and Corporal's just this flaming redhead. And then he's like, but Baron, our mother just loves him too much. I mean, says he's so pretty. Elenia, that's what I said.
Right.
What connection do you in? And what you gathered from looking at this is that there is a blacksmith there. It looks like a leather worker and a thatcher.
Oh fuck! I want to visit all of these guys. These guys are amazing.
Right. I think maybe we're just gonna come around and see what the wares are of your various brothers and their professions, and kind of go from there.
Come on over. Boys, clean up a little bit. Corporal, just try a little. Fine. And he kind of ties a lace that's just kind of up in his shirt just a little bit more. He looks pretty rough.
Right. Billy, where do you want to go first?
Well, I guess work. How are you? The name's Billy. Pleasure to meet you. I'd love to see what you're selling. What's your craft here?
Okay.
Chicken.
Go ahead and check in your journal there.
Oh snap! I got a drop in. The yard.
Dropping.
Hi, I'm Eve.
Oh, hi there, Eve.
I'm
Oh,
here.
aren't you?
For
You're a pretty one.
thanks.
Oh my God.
That's
Name's
not awkward.
Rurik. And he kind of drops his hammer in front of him and there's a lot of clang. Brawn anvil.
Thank you.
Right.
You guys got anything you want me to fix, or what are you looking for?
I'm gonna go up to the shy elf. He's the leather worker.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna be like, "Excuse me, friend." I'm gonna reach in with my right hand and pull out the kind of fur leather, right? The pelt.
Mm-hmm.
Is there by any chance you could make me just some sort of, cloak or jacket with this? Doesn't have to be too large. Just something to cover what you can. It's not. Is it a big piece? I mean, or is it just?
It's a good size. I mean, it's like a full-on bear pelt.
Wow. Is there anything that perhaps you can do with this?
What are you looking to make?
Just something to go over my currently worn cloak. Something
Warm,
comfortable. Maybe keep me warm.
The cloak seems kind of nice, but I see you. Okay. You want gloves, or your shoes also don't look really.
Looking at my current leather gloves. No, I think I'll be fine with my gloves. But yeah, I could probably might do with some boots. Perhaps Something to go on my legs under my cloak.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's enough there. Kind of does a few calculations in his head. When are you looking to get this by?
Well, as soon as possible, I suppose. What is your turnaround time for something like this?
Uh, turnaround time, eh? Uh, well, it seems like you're in a bit of a hurry there. Uh, uh, tell you what, just, let's say 2 gold.
2 gold for what is that getting me exactly? Are you going
Uh,
to use the entire pelt?
yeah, I mean, if you want a thick cloak, it'd be nice, big. Should go over that one that you're wearing right now. I'll throw in the shoes. I'm gonna have to make some new leather just to get the base, and shoes take a minute. Um, I would say if you're in a hurry, well, that's the rush. So
Oh, when could
probably have
I?
it to you. Comes back tomorrow, maybe.
Tomorrow?
Uh, Gonna have
Tomorrow.
to adapt to some shoes, though. I think I got a pair that could fit. So let me see. Let me take a look. And he's gonna just kind of lift up your foot and just look at the bottom of your sole. Check it out. Okay, okay.
Cool. And as he does that, I'm gonna whip around my cloak kind of behind me, um, so that way he doesn't touch it.
Sure. Sees you doing that, and you could tell he actually really wanted to kind of see what it was. Okay. What where did you say you were from?
Just from outside of town. I just rolled in a few days ago. Um, have you ever heard of a small town called Gordon?
No.
Lovely little town. You might want to explore it yourself. It's beautiful.
Been mostly in Lutheran most of my life. Mom, pop raised me. Came down with my brothers over here.
You worked with them long.
Well, I mean, maybe the last 20 years. Not that old for an elf.
Well, it's interesting to see an elf get along with these dwarves over there. Just don't see that
Well,
often. I feel they're dwarven,
those
right?
are my brothers.
They are dwarven.
Yeah.
So they're not by birth, obviously.
Are you from around here?
From quite
You've mentioned that, but
quite far from here, actually. And I'm gonna take my foot off of him if he's still like looking at my foot.
yeah, he puts it down and just,
Okay.
yeah. This isn't weird to you, is it? We don't really like folk that come through here. I mean, this kind of thing's been happening for a while.
What, having somebody that you don't know come through a town? I would assume it's a town. You probably see many faces that you don't find familiar.
I was talking about having dwarven brothers, but okay.
Yes, well, I just didn't realize the dwarves and the elves were so close. It's been a long time since I have seen, well, dwarves.
Fair enough. I'll take that with a grain of salt, I guess. So yeah, just 2 gold, and that should get you your cloak and the boots and hello. And he looks down and he actually sees the dagger that you have, and says, "I'll even throw in a nice new belt for that thing."
I appreciate that. Thank you. And as I kind of reach for the coin, I'll give him 3 gold 50. And I will also, as just inquire about the volcano. By any chance, if you travel as far as the volcano, is it always active like that?
Um,
And I'll reach
I
out with the
mean,
gold.
thank you, friend, but um, perhaps My brother might interest you in something else. Your corn is good here, but there are other things that you might be interested in. So, and he's only going to take the 2 gold and give you back that.
Okay.
And you'll have to ask Rurik. I don't know what it is, but I think that the dwarves just have a better way of saying it. But that's the volcano near Uthudurn. Kind of a hot spot, I guess you could say.
Well, for the dwarves, I would imagine so.
Well, I mean, for the dwarves and the elves, it's a diarchy. You got dwarves and elves living together. That's Uthudurn.
There's a town that flourishes near the volcano.
That's more of a city, if anything. I mean, that's part of the whole domain. It's rather, well, it's Uthudurn.
I thought this is all Luthadern.
Uthudurn, well, that's Uthudurn. This is part of Uthudurn, but that is the Uthudurn.
Is it like Los Angeles and then like the LA County? Is like that kind of how it is? Like there's Los Angeles, the city, and then there's the greater county.
We'll call it that. Yes, it is. It is what you've gathered from it. Basically, is that Uthudurn, from what everyone's described, is a massive city that is a diarchy and almost an empire in itself that is in the mountain range, and that you are within the boundaries of Uthudurn's territory.
Got it. That's like the capital city, is what we're thinking.
That's what we're calling it.
Okay, got it.
It does, but it doesn't. From what you've gathered, Pale Bank has been a port attempt from Uthudurn.
DM, what you just handed me, is this all 3 triplets? Like this is what I can buy
Yes,
from all of them?
all 3 of them have this. So, is anyone else interested in getting anything?
No.
Interested in
no.
some music. You want to turn that on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into it.
It's been silent. I can play a little. I'll play a little diddly.
Going back here. So let's do.
All the shopping in Pale Bank. What will we buy?
Actually, no, you
I
know
do
what?
not
We'll do
know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And you all get inspiration.
And marking that down.
Inspiration on shopping. If no one else is gonna buy anything, I'm gonna do a little shopping spree right now, if I may.
What would you like there, lad?
Well, you got some between you and your brothers. You got some very fine craftsmanship going on. I would love your finest net, water skin, whetstone, hempen rope, a day of rations, and a block and tackle, please.
Oh, that's a fine list there.
Came prepared.
Yes,
Jesus.
Guess I should be writing this down.
please. Some of the items you have are a little above my price range at the moment, but as soon as I gain a little coin, I might.
What would you
do that.
say you like there?
I love that little studded leather armor over there, but the price tag you got, that goes way above what's in my pocket at the moment, sir.
What are you actually getting on a serious note?
No, everything I mentioned to you is what I'm
I
actually
know.
getting.
What are you getting?
Oh, I'm getting a net, a water skin, because I realize I don't have one, a whetstone to sharpen my sword with, 50 feet of hempen rope, because I don't own one personally, a day of rations, and a block and tackle. And does the block and tackle, it comes with like a little pulley system with it, right? Or is it literally just the block to tie the rope on?
It comes. So it is a block and tackle. So it is the pulley system that you would use for like a hoist of some kind.
Right.
The rope does not get provided, so it is just purely the tackle itself. But the thing is that you would still need to mount it to something.
Copy that.
You know what I mean? Like you are using a pulley system, but it has to be on something
Right.
in order to benefit from the pulley benefits.
Right.
Right.
Is this an item list that he's looking at that he was handing?
Yeah. Would you like to?
I would love to
this?
see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll scamper up behind him. Oh yeah, baby.
Okay. Elenia and Eve, if I'm just gonna drop you in on this too, in case you want to just see it.
I basically just walked into REI, and I'm like, fuck yes. Is how I feel.
It's great. We've been here for so long talking about all this stuff with the other guy. I forgot what the first guy's accent was. So we're gonna just run with it. Well,
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm Rurik here, and
Rurik,
this is what we got kind of in stock. I mean, we got a good selection. Just couldn't deal with the snobby-nosed Smiths back home, man.
Get it, man. It's all about homemade.
Look, when you spend a year making a dagger that some lord picks his teeth with, well, you made a toothpick, not a dagger.
You know what I really like? This place supports local business, and I'm all about local business. You know.
I like your style. Who is he? What is he? I don't know.
Billy. The name's Billy, and it's a pleasure to meet you. And I shake the man's hand.
Shakes your hand. It's a hearty shake.
Yep.
In the background, Corfil and Baron just kind of like roll their eyes. Okay.
So for this list of items, what will that run me, sir?
Well, gonna make a few calculations here.
So ants.
Well, you want anything else while you're here? I mean, we've got a lot. Maybe we could do a trade of some kind too.
I've looked over your selection, and this is all I'm really looking for at the current moment.
I kind of hear this conversation happening, and I'm gonna come up behind Billy and pull out of my pocket a silvered mace, and then slam it on the table. So you know how much this might go for around here. Perhaps we can get what you're looking for, Billy. I don't think this is gonna be going into any use, and I'm gonna say that so they didn't hear it. So, my friends, possibly you can buy this off of us for a nice trade of what was it that you were looking at, Billy, over there? The studded leather.
The studded leather armor, yes. But and I whispered to Veritan, I was like, "Are we sure we want to give?" First of all, you gotta tell me where you just pulled that thing, because if it's from your ass, I don't have any more questions. Then that's fine, and that's personal for you. But are we sure that we want to sell this?
I mean, no, none of us are going to be using it, and I can barely hold it. Is this something that you can bear yourself? If you can use this weapon, then please.
To be honest, no, it's not something I'm very familiar with. But it's I'm just saying, are we sure we want to part with it right now?
I mean, it's from what I can tell, it's purely just a silver mace. If you think I should keep it, and I'm gonna actually say that louder with the merchant kind of listening. If you think we should keep it, then I suppose maybe we might not want to sell it.
Corfil, Baron, I mean, that's a real fine mace you got there.
Yeah, yes, but I think, I apologize, I think I may have been a little bit brash on that one. It turns out I think we might be looking to keep this piece.
What were you looking to get? I mean, aside from all of these.
Oh, I mean, it's a little priceless as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sure if something like this, if there's even a price tag for it at the moment. Veritan, do you feel like, I mean, it's 100 gold easy, in my opinion, but I'm not quite sure.
I mean, yes.
Well,
they said
been used.
Well, when we bought it from that,
Definitely used.
when we bought it off that person, he said it was, we spent 125 gold on it just to buy it, but.
Well, that was a terrible deal.
Well, I mean, we haven't been able to use it, so as you can see, it's pretty new. But, I mean, since we paid so much for it, I don't imagine we would just get rid of it like this. So maybe you are right. Maybe we do keep it on ourselves.
Well, wait. You said studded leather armor. Okay. Maybe we can work with that. What if we did the armor and the rest of your list here?
And I'm gonna give him a look, and then I'm gonna kind of take Veritan around the shoulder and kind of turn him around, and I'm just gonna be like, "All right, listen. If we're gonna sell this right now, is there anything else you could possibly think of that you might want from these guys before we agree to this deal? Because now's the time to get it."
Absolutely. Well, if we were to let this go, I suppose. I mean, this is a great list, but I mean, we spent so much gold buying this mace in the first place. I mean, perhaps a few more rations may do us good. And I look around the group.
Yes, I agree with that.
Sure. Yeah. I'm sure we got rations, right? Yeah, we got rations.
Well, that's wonderful. And perhaps maybe some of that oil right there. I never know when.
Oh, okay. The oil. Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, I don't know, Billy. How are you feeling about this?
I mean, at the moment, I guess I'm.
Do you feel?
I mean, I feel like.
I feel like we're kind of losing money on this.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I feel like we're still taking somewhat of a hit.
I think.
And I'll just
a great deal. I mean, if you
do you. The only thing I could think of is that do you have anything possible that I could, with this bolt and tackle, I can definitely block and tackle. Definitely see it's coming ahead. Do you have anything I could use to secure it, possibly into some type of mountain, like for example, a cave ceiling, mountainside, something like that. Something I can secure it into, just in case.
what like we got any of those pythons back there? And you just hear from the background, yeah, we got pythons. Sure.
Why don't you throw in a couple, throw in a bundle of pythons in there, and well, I think
Well, you got a hammer to hit that with? And as he goes, it says that he's picking up the maul. And
that's right. Do you have a smaller hammer that's not a maul?
Yeah, 1/7.
Okay. Well, with that, I think on in, I put up a finger and I turn Veritan back and I say, okay, well, I guess I'm good with this if you are.
Hey, boy, this is a
Yes,
nice
I mean-
hammer.
I think I'm good with it. I can't imagine. There's no magic. I can safely say that it wasn't magical of any kind, and I mean,
It is a silvered. Henderson,
He's
do I know
already admiring it.
do I know anything about silvered weapons? Do I know anything about silvered weapons?
Go ahead and make an insight check. Eve, you doing good there?
Right. At this point, I've definitely melted back, and I'm like with
15.
you, like holding hands or something.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 15.
You've heard of it in your travels, of just that they have their uses, apparently in certain situations with things. Nothing that necessarily you have ever seen or encountered that would make you think that you have need of it, per se.
Right. Well, I don't know.
Is he a
I don't think
blacksmith? Is this guy a
Rurik
blacksmith?
Rurik is a blacksmith, yes.
So I just turned to with Veritan. I'm like, well, aside from the fact that it's silvered, I have real no need of a mace itself. So I'm good to sell it if you are.
Well, perhaps. I mean, what have you heard specifically that possibly silver can be used for? Maybe we can.
I've just heard that silvered weapons have their uses. I've never seen it before, and I can't think of anything we would need it for at the moment.
Something
None of
that
us.
Perhaps we can smelt it down to craft some sort of new weapon.
Perchance, we could do that.
Listen, boys, I'm not sure kind of what you're up to here, but like, we'll take the mace or the maul, but I got things to do back here, so.
Veritan, we gotta pull the trigger. Yes or no?
Well, yes, let's just do this. I don't see a reason to haul it around if none of us can use it anyway.
All right, we make the deal.
Okay, you know what? Just take the hammer. I don't care. And he's gonna kind of go over the list and go back and grab all the things, and comes back over, dumps it on the counter right in front of you. It should be I think that's all of it.
Is that
And
with
then-
the studded leather?
Throws the studded leather over the top of it.
How does it
Looks
look?
at Billy.
Does it look good?
Hold on one sec. And goes back. Corporal, come over here. Corporal comes over. We gotta resize this. Well, I mean, look at this. They kind of look around Billy, and he's just tall as shit compared to them. And okay. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. We got this.
Okay.
Takes the measurements. Look at you. Corporal takes it back. Goes in the back. You just hear a bunch of stuff. Meanwhile, Elenia and Eve have kind of checked out behind you.
Sorry, girls. Shopping.
We're good.
We'll say that you guys have just kind of been like absent-mindedly thinking about things. At this
Yeah,
point,
we're
it's
just
about
kind of sitting
9
back watching the boys.
30.
Okay.
Okay. And Corporal comes back. That's a nice job, Corporal. Baron, I don't know what the hell you're doing over there, but and takes it, throws it back in the thing. All right, we're square away even.
And I'll shake the man's hand.
Grabs
Thank you,
it.
sir. I
Nice
appreciate your
business.
business. Nice doing business indeed. Well, unless there's
Alright.
anything else you theory need, as I take off my leather armor and I put on my new studded one, kind of feeling it out. I say we get rocking.
I'd say that's a good idea.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Studded
Alright.
leather armor.
Right. And you have everything else that you wrote in there. So you
Yeah,
have
I'll add it. I'll add it all to my thing. I have it
Okay.
written down in
Yeah.
my notes here.
We all
Okay.
got a ration, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll add that right now. Thanks for that, by the way.
I will.
Okay. And what are you guys doing now?
We're gonna go to, I believe, Tolgi's. Yes.
Yeah. Damn. We're off to
Alright.
Okay. So you start heading over to Tolgi's, coming through town. Again, you're kind of going a different way now. You guys, Elenia, you know the way. Billy, you've kind of figured it out at this point. You are adjusting your trip to come around because, again, Pelks was on the other side of the village. Now you are on the top side near the shore, cutting across, coming up, and you all do arrive at Tolgi's.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, we know what we're expecting. Should we just go knock on the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was she the nicest to? Who was the nicest to her? I say.
Probably me.
Yeah, Elenia, do you want to do the talking?
I don't, but I will. All right, here I go. So I'm just gonna go up to the door. I'm gonna just
Okay.
lightly knock, and Olgi, are you in?
Quiet.
I'm gonna knock a little bit louder. Tolgi, are you home? Hello. Keep knocking.
Veritin, make a perception check.
I shall.
Eve, go ahead and make a perception check as well.
But not me.
13.
No, you. Okay. Okay. Eve, you just noticed that the snow that's fallen, it looks like the door hasn't been opened in a minute. Just fresh snow kind of around in the area. Veritin, you noticed that the fire that was roaring yesterday is now gone from the chimney.
All right. Is anybody else thinking what I'm currently thinking?
I do fear the worst, but there's only one way to know.
Well, yes, she did have some fierce wolves in there, didn't she?
She did.
Sure they're still in there?
Oh, they're definitely still in there.
They may be still in there.
Unless they roasted with how warm it is in there.
Oh yeah, it was really warm last time.
That's because she was freezing her ass off.
Yeah.
She was turning into ice.
She's also not answering the door, you guys. So
Is it locked?
Let me. Is the door locked, Joey?
You go to wiggle it.
Mm-hmm.
Seems unlocked.
I'm gonna. All right, I'm gonna open the door because it seems like it's unlocked, you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Do it. Be cautious.
Be very careful.
Also, my screen is reloading because I had to reset Roll20 right now.
Oh, all good.
Okay.
It says recalculating splines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it wouldn't let me open up the
Well, while that's waiting, what does he see, Henderson?
So as you walk in, you're getting kind of embers a little bit on the inside of things. It looks like from the inside. Go ahead and make a investigation check. But most of the lights are kind of just dim at this point.
There it is.
I'm gonna just kind of have her back and kind of peek my head in.
Sorry, am I making an investigation check?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. My
I'm
thing
gonna
was, like, not
do that
opening.
as well. I'm gonna follow up behind.
Yeah.
We will say that you're helping, so go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage, Elenia.
Oh, shit.
Do one more for advantage.
Okay.
It looks like the inside was cleaned out a bit, but it looks like someone came through and intentionally just grabbed things from the look of it. Some of the blankets from the bed are gone. It doesn't look like there was anything that's out of place per se from the last time that you were here. Things are just kind of missing, like someone gathered some things.
Hmm.
Do we think that the priest finally made it this way? Or maybe brought her out of here, back to the...
I hope so. Is she... I'm gonna whisper in, Elenia, is there anyone in there?
Doesn't look like anyone's in here. We're gonna have to...
I'm gonna kneel to the ground and let Rune run out and run ahead and just slowly peek around the interior walls and kind of slowly walk over to the bed.
Sure. Okay.
I'm gonna step inside with Elenia.
I want to step inside as well.
I'm specifically gonna look under the bed, keeping distance to see if there's any wolves under there. That's where they came from last time.
Okay. So we will say that everyone is stepping aside.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do like a perimeter check. Like I'm just gonna go like to the left and kind of walk around the corners of the...
Okay. Rune is inside and just checking into everything. You see her dart under the bed. still for a moment, comes right back out, looking around, kind of pauses over here at the corner, just sniffs around, looks like the porridge was old, kind of sitting in there, or the soup that was there yesterday looks half eaten at this point, kind of starting to smell, but the cold is keeping it just a little bit. Comes around the corner, and just a few foodstuffs and things. Comes back to you.
Foodstuffs.
It seems like this place has been abandoned.
Does it seem abandoned, or does this seem like she left for the day?
Right.
I mean, she wasn't quick to go anywhere last we saw her. Unless she had a miraculous way to cure herself.
I'm gonna go up to the bed. Does it look like it just hasn't been made, or does it look like a scuffle?
It looks like someone took the sheets, but the bed itself is still intact.
What about this thing over here?
Which thing?
I
That
just-
is it's just looks like it's like a bathtub, like little water basin kind of thing.
Yeah, but nothing's in it.
Just a little bit of water. Maybe there was a hot water in there at some point, but at this point, it's just all frigid.
Is there anything on the bedside table that might signify like where she is or what she's doing?
You walk over to the bedside table. No real signs. Again, it feels like someone took things, but at the same time, though, there's no note or anything like that you can see.
I know that this table already got checked out, but can I kind of just like check out the food on this table to see like how old it is, that I can tell if it's been there for a while or if it's like
So the food on the table, it looks like there was a lot of like kind of tack and stuff like she's been kind of living off of like immediate supplies of what she had, hasn't been really kind of going out kind of thing. Her breakfast, judging from the food, it feels like the food may have been there for a day, since like maybe yesterday after you saw her, somewhere around that time perhaps. It's hard to say. It's all seems kind of similar, but everything's cold.
right. But is it like covered in mold or anything, or is it? Just
It's only been about a day, and you're in pretty cold air.
right. Okay, so it's no, it's fine. This has taught me nothing. Cool.
Well, guys, we don't know if she left, if there's anything going on, so I think we should just head out. I know the door is open, which is odd, but we have no other way of knowing where she is, so I just say we head over to Croaker Cave.
Yeah, this is a current dead end, so let's
What do you
keep
guys
going.
think? Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Eve, what do you think?
Yeah, I just noticed some of these tables here.
Are they broken?
Eve, go ahead and make a investigation check.
Fuck.
It looks like she broke a bunch of the wood on these chairs and tables. You don't really know why.
Oh, probably fire.
Yeah, probably to warm herself.
And then what is this?
It just looks like some basic kind of supplies. You get this sense that she again was a trapper. Looking in there, there's some kind of old pelts, and there's just a bag of kind of tack.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, those are the two things I wanted to investigate, but it seems like it's a dead end, and either the priest came by to pick her up, or she's on her own journey.
Can you by any chance turn down the blacksmith
Oh.
music?
You guys gotta remind me about the music. That's the one thing that I'm literally trying to figure out here.
It's all good.
That's all good.
Yeah, it's probably also your headphones that sometimes you don't really...
I forget because I don't really hear it that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like I know what I'm getting for Christmas.
Can I send Rune to like crawl under the bear pelt to see if there's anything under there? Just like,
Uh, as you have this thought, Rune kind of looks back at you and then
I give it
jumps over, and you see her actually kind of come up to the bear pelt and leap into the mouth of the bear. Just kind of go inside, and it's this really kind of bizarre sight, seeing this thing like kind of like dashing around underneath it, almost like the bear is alive for a minute. Comes out on the other side, returns to you, and there's something in her mouth.
Oh
I'll
shit!
just reach down and I'll hold my hand out. What is it?
It looks like it is a few pieces of gold.
All right.
It's about 6 gold.
Sounds great.
Do I see what just happened?
You saw Rune jump into the bear, and you saw the bear kind of poop out Rune, and were so amused by it that you just saw it come back up, and you're like, well, that's the cutest thing you've ever seen.
Okay, I didn't notice the gold or anything.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Rune just kind of crawls up my arm around and then back down into my pocket.
7.
Okay. You think it's adorable.
Okay.
And Veritan, as you kind of see this, you saw it was 6, and then you saw a little like kind of her, and it's now 5. And she goes into the pocket.
That is quite the fox you got there.
He's quite helpful, at least for now.
Well, gang.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've
Exhausted this.
Yeah, I say we're armed up and ready to go. Let's head on over and
Get our croak on.
hunt ourselves some frog legs and other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the marching order?
Well, Elenia, you know the way best.
Yeah, I do know where Croaker Cave is, so it makes the most sense I go first.
Okay.
Kroger,
Mm-hmm.
Who's falling?
me.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll
Girl power.
take up the rear.
Okay.
I'll follow next to Billy.
Repeat that sentence?
Oh, I'll take the rear.
All right. Go ahead and make a
I will
stealth
be
check, please.
coming on their backside.
Yes. I'll come right up in the rear.
Make a stealth check. Make a stealth check from the rear.
Stealthy.
Stealth.
I will stealthily come into the rear.
Wait, no, on the backside.
All right.
Stealth check for everyone, please.
17.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. My apologies.
Shit.
That is a 6.
That is
So
a 6, Jude.
It's a solid 6, though, guys.
Eve, have you done a stealth check yet?
That is average. That is really good.
Yeah. I'm still getting used to my new armor. I haven't quite gotten the mobility yet.
Yeah.
Eve, make a stealth check, please.
Oh.
It's over here dancing.
Damn!
Wow,
well
she's
done.
stealthy.
Stealthy as fuck.
Elenia, as you kind of are leading the way, Eve is behind you, and it just feels like you have this kind of wind behind you, guiding you forward. The two of you are just super
Frolicking.
stealthy. Billy's kind of making this stomping motions behind you, but despite all that, you all seem to be pretty damn quiet. And you make your way. It's going to be. You feel like you haven't necessarily gone there, but you know the route to it enough that you have the general idea. So you start kind of coming up the coastline, going along the road that you know. There's a little bit of a trail that kind of goes there, and as you're heading over there, it's going to take you about 10 minutes or so from Tolgi's, I'd say at this point, to get to a point at which you could then kind of get eyesight of the cave itself.
Yeah.
And then from there, it'll be another 20 minutes to just kind of get around to the cave.
Okay.
So traveling about 10 minutes, you guys have kind of gone through. In the distance, you actually do now, having come up the coast, can see faintly like kind of like the rocks coming in, and it looks like this cave kind of comes in on an inlet where like perhaps like a river of some kind, like a natural flowing kind of river, comes in off the coast into the sea, and it comes up, and there's a cave right along the side of it that comes up right there. And go ahead and make a perception check, Elenia.
Can we like Scooby Doo our heads peeking into the cave? Whoop, 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 whoop.
You said perception?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Elenia, you do see as you guys are approaching the cave. Now you're actually getting closer. There does
Do you
seem
want
to
to change
be.
our background or no?
You're not there yet.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Our map is just...
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
If you'd like to see something else.
Yeah, I'll just make this my... That's fine. Yeah.
So we will say that you are approaching it, and you notice that there's now some tracks coming from this trail leading into and out of the cave. It looks like they could be perhaps tracks for the bandits that you've heard coming to and fro from this area. Eve, go ahead and make a make a survival check.
Survival.
She's a survivor.
Eve, it's a little cold, but at the same time, your fur-lined coat at this point is keeping you warm, and you don't really notice much. Billy and Veritan, you're just in the rear, kind of keeping an eye on things. And
Do I notice we're approaching the cave?
You do. You at this point, you've all see kind of the cave coming up, and I'd say you're within about 40 feet of the cave right now, coming up to the entrance of it.
Guys, should we put the cloaks on?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's about that. It's about cloak o'clock.
Cloak o'clock. All right, I just hand. I'm pretty sure I still have them. I hand out the 3 cloaks. Oh, one for me, one for Elenia, one for Veritan.
Yep.
Don the cloak.
Yeah, and I will change mine into the image of their cloak.
Okay. Got it. And you do that in a flash. Suddenly, just all this fur and it's a really crummy kind of bandit cloak. It's a bit colder now.
Yeah.
Right. Are you all approaching?
Yes.
Yeah, so we are approaching the cave.
Okay. So as you come in, you start hearing this drip, drip,
Right.
drip.
Is it a big entrance? Like, are we crawling in a tiny thing?
It's
Like,
about I'd say it's about a 10-foot entrance kind of coming into this cave. On either side. It's decent enough. So you're getting close to the cave.
I'm gonna just look up at the ceiling and see if there's
for real.
As I hear the drip, drip, the drip's just gonna lead me up to the ceiling to see if there's anything up there.
Okay. And as you do this, what the hell is this?
I'm a survivor. Oh, I'm gonna give inspiration before we go into the cave. I'm gonna sing.
Great.
I'm gonna go. Go into a layer, gonna kill a lot of bad guys. Go into a layer, gonna kill a lot of bad guys. And then everyone gets a d6 of inspiration.
How long does that last?
Yes.
I believe it lasts like. That's an excellent question. It's a decent amount. Hold on. Let me consult my bardic wisdom.
Yeah, no worries.
Handy.
It lasts 10 minutes. You guys can
great.
use it within the next 10 minutes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
How the hell do I add
And you
that
get
now?
to the entrance
It's
of
just
cave.
you just have one, and you can use it on saving throws,
Yeah.
attack rolls, and
That's fine.
and I'll try to remember that you all.
Yeah, I just don't want to forget. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's fine.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh wow. Oh, I don't see shit.
Top left.
I don't see shit.
Me either, I'm sure.
Wait, what do you mean? You should be able.
Maybe it's not linked. Hold on.
What am I saying, Henderson?
No. It's just give me a sec here. Let's see what it is.
Oh,
here
I
we
see
go.
this now.
Now I see it.
We're gonna boil.
Don't let him see.
Eve, are you good? Do you see everything?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I've
And
never seen
Elenia.
that. Crazy. Okay.
Elenia, you
There's a fire out there.
see that it's dark.
Yeah, I'm like, all I see is blackness.
Darkness.
Oh, wait. Yikes. Okay, yeah. Savage. All right, well.
Okay. So we will say that you are all kind of jumbled at the entrance here looking in. It is dark. There's a faint amount of light coming behind you, Elenia, but you don't really see much except there's a pool of water laid out in front of you.
There's also, guys, there's like a really, really far away, there's a fire pit.
Yeah,
You see a fire pit?
I
I
see
do
something
see a
like
fire
that.
pit. I
Oh.
see a faint fire, reddish glow out in the distance.
Soup's far.
Is this a pool of water, or is this a pool of blood of ice? I'm gonna look at the pool of water.
Okay. You realize that it is in fact water. Go ahead and make a perception check.
What'd I roll? I'm not on that. I rolled a 6.
It is water and it looks cold.
I'm going to kind of go up to the water, and I am going to summon my mage hand in the middle of it, and I'm going to start to send my mage hand down in the water to see if I can gauge how deep it is.
Okay. You see this hand. Which hand are you using, by the way?
I'm using my left hand.
Okay. You see Veritan pull out his left hand and kind of thrust it down, and you see this hand appear in the middle of the lake, or not lake, but the pool of water, and kind of flex its fingers for a moment, and then start to descend into the water.
Whoa.
And as it goes 5 feet, 8 feet, you see a shadow kind of pass by.
Where?
Near the center of the water.
There's something in there. You think it's one of the frogs?
What?
So do I touch the bottom?
At around 10 feet, just a little bit over that, the hand does touch the bottom.
Okay.
Do you get like a sensation with that thing?
It doesn't say.
We will say for the sake of this that since you interact with physical things, that you have the sense that it is
would know.
a physical thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So I'll just bamf it back, and it will disappear. So this is quite a deep pool of water. We probably don't want to swim across, I'd say. I think hopefully there is a way to get across, though.
What can we all do? How are we going to get ourselves across? It seems it's 10 feet deep. I mean, I'm tall. I'm not that tall.
Well, is there any cool tricks up anybody's sleeves that we are not familiar with yet? Might be able to guide us.
What are we trying to do exactly?
Get
Trying to
across this water?
Get across this pool of water.
Go ahead and make a perception check, Elenia.
I legit thought your tit was out, Jenna.
I thought the same thing at first. I was like, oh, that's weird.
I was like, I'm streaming right now.
Wait a second, that's not Jenna's tit.
It legit.
I totally
does.
don't.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I was like, I'm gonna be a friend and say, Jenna, your tit's out.
And then you're like, what a weird tit.
Yeah.
Elenia, that was for Eve. I apologize. Eve, go ahead and make your perception check. Elenia,
Oh my God,
you still
Dad.
realize-
After
you
I
still
roll
realize
up.
it is dark. Although
Yeah.
you can, with this amazing kind of supernatural vision, you kind of see that there is in fact a pool in front of you with everyone standing there, and you did see the hand.
Right, it's dark as shit. Should I... can I light a torch? I don't really want to, but I don't want to be I can't see a damn thing.
I mean,
I think it'll be okay if you light a torch.
yeah.
Right?
Here,
I say light. Okay. Do you have a torch, Elenia?
I do.
I can give us light if that's, and also change
Can
it
you?
a specific color. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like any color other than pitch black would be real cool.
So, I will, I will, reach into my bag, and I will pull out this kind of leather-bound pouch with twine around it and untie it real quick, and I will reach in and I will pull out this bundle of moss, and as I start to kind of verbally speak to it, it starts to glow, and I will reach over to Eleni and be like, "Can I see your hand for a second?"
Sure.
And I will touch the moss to Elenia's hand, and this light will start to emanate from the center of Elenia's hand, and it is a deep blue light.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yes.
And then I will kind of crinkle the moss, put it back, twine it up, and put it back into my pouch.
Okay.
Super helpful, thank you.
So as that happens, Elenia, you suddenly go from darkness to this wonderful kind of glowing light that emits from your hand and spreads out across into about a 20-foot radius. And we will go ahead and find you here.
Yeah. So then I can at least help plan anything because I can't
Mhm.
see anything.
And I'm just going to kind of drag my hand through the water and feel how cold it actually is.
That's probably
Is-
Okay. And as you do that, the water is cold. It is very cold. And you see another kind of shadow kind of move across.
Fuck no.
So
Do I notice the shadow in the water?
From the light that Elenia is emitting right now, yes, you do notice the shadow.
There's something over there, but... Well, if we're trying to get across this water, we're not the first ones to try to get across this. There must be an easy way.
Eve, you did notice in the distance when you were looking around that on the far side of the wall across from you, there seems to be a long plank laid out over here. Looks like it's about 25 feet across.
And it's a rope?
A plank, like a long board that's aimed against the wall.
Okay.
Oh, it's over here?
And she's the only one that sees it?
Her natural passive score is higher.
Okay, so then I don't know if anyone has said that out loud, so I'm just going to say, does anyone see anything across the water that we could use to get across it on the other side?
Yeah, there is a wooden plank that seems to be used to get across, so...
Give me 10 minutes. Let me see if I can see if Ringo can... Oh, Elenia, do you have an idea?
I think
I could actually... I could actually probably do it in less than 10 minutes.
Oh, go for it.
Go ahead, yes.
Right. Should I give it a try? So I'm going to mingle with the wind and float to the other side.
What?
Okay.
Cast levitation.
So Elenia looks kind of at Billy and gives him a wink as she touches him for a second and steps off into the water. And as she does so, the winds around her kind of... And you just hear this kind of air leave and almost like a silence following it. And she starts to kind of float up into the air. And as she does so, she pushes off. And you see this momentum kind of carrying her up and across.
You can fly?
Elenia, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
She can fucking fly. I gotta learn to do that.
Eesh.
Oh, use your roll your die. Roll your inspiration.
Well, you know,
no, it's It's a nat 1. I don't even think that
Well,
would matter.
what sucks though is that I
Well-
had just rolled a nat 20 and it wasn't my roll.
Yeah,
So that's kind of
it's a nat 1. It won't even matter.
For the sake of it, go ahead and roll the inspiration die. Oh, I'm not doing a critical fail here.
So I'm clicking on the thing that says inspiration here.
Just,
No, you got to just do
roll
it.
a d6. Just roll a straight d6.
Yeah. So if you go to the screen on the left, and just click the D6 button. Okay, I'm gonna roll for you.
Yeah, I don't. I
It's like
see
you-
my D8, but I don't know where this D6
You
is.
know,
Okay.
you know, like that where the arrow, where the
So-
little bar is.
As this happens, Elenia,
Oh.
you've leapt off, and you're floating kind of through the air. Everyone is kind of staring in amazement, and this shadow kind of comes up from the depths, and you see this large, giant ice frog leap out of the water and try and bite your foot.
Oh shit!
And it is just close enough where it almost grabs your foot, and it kind of gets the heel of your boot and slips past and falls back into the water.
Wow.
Ah, Jesus.
Shit!
The frogs, you guys.
Frogs? That's more like a.
Oh,
What?
Monster frogs. Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
And
Oh my
then we will say that you can continue to float past, and now you have reached this corner right here. Are you
What is
looking
this?
to?
I'm
so
looking for that plank.
It's right here.
Okay.
So we will say that you are you looking to kind of land at this point?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I'm gonna have to come down to get the. Well, I mean, I don't really want to land. I'd like to pick the plank up and like kind of set it over. Because I
Okay.
feel like it's gonna. I don't know if I can get the leverage to lean it over. Like it makes more sense for me to float it over.
Sure. So
You know what I'm saying?
like you want to levitate with it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like I want to, like try to pick it up. I mean, if
The
I
planks-
can't
yeah,
do
the-
that, then
I get what
guess
you're saying. I get what
I'll
you're
land,
saying.
but I
The
don't
planks
know.
the plank's pretty heavy at this point, but I would say that if you use both hands and you kind of leap back, you probably could. So we'll say
Right.
that for the sake of it that you've landed now and that you are picking up the plank and you see the water churning again. And you leap one more time. It's a little heavier this time. Go ahead and make a athletics check.
Can I do acrobatics?
It's more of a strength thing trying to push off right now.
Exactly. Fine.
You can roll your d6 to make that better.
If only I knew how to do that.
So you know, like where the little toolbar is on the far left, where like you there's the arrow cursor and the paintbrush.
Oh,
and the
yes,
magnifying
okay.
glass.
Uh-huh.
There's the d20
I
symbol.
see it now. Yeah.
Yeah. You just roll a d6 there.
I'll just-
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's it.
I was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, are they talking about the right? I always forget that little thing is there because we didn't have this.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
we
okay.
had it there, but we never used it.
Right.
So
it's okay.
as you do this, you leap up and one more time jump up into the air, and this time you're kind of floating. You're near the ceiling now. It looks like you're about. Ceilings are, I would say, about 10 feet up. So you're close. There's some stalactites up there that you're trying to narrowly avoid. You see the water turn again, and the frog leaps up one more time, trying to get to you as you're coming up. And we will say that you have come to the center now, and you're just kind of holding on, and you're about midway through now.
Mhm.
Board on either side of you.
Okay, so can I try to set this board down so that everybody else can kind of try to cross over it?
Okay.
I feel like it'd make the most sense for me to set it like from here to here because it looks like it's the shortest distance.
Okay, so we will say that you've landed somewhere in this vicinity, and are you kind of trying to come down with the board and landing on it? Is that the idea? And like
Yeah.
you want to just try and drop it down?
I want to kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I want to just set it down. I feel like it makes the most sense to do it over here because it's the shortest and it's close to a wall so that everybody's not like.
Sure. So we'll say that
Kinda.
the frog jumps, leaps, lands back into the water. Elenia is still floating through the air, holding this thing. And as she comes down, you see her kind of almost landing on top of the water for a second, and she drops this plank. There's a little bit of a clatter, but it's relatively silent. It seems like the area is kind of moist on either side. It kind of dampens it. And she steps off the water onto the plank and dips her way back across to here. There's now a plank moving across over here.
That was so cool.
That was quite the magic spell that you just used.
How were you able to do that?
It's something I was kind of born with, I guess. I'm still figuring it all out.
Well, damn.
That
Damn,
one
girl.
you may have to show me.
You have to show all of us that.
I mean, you saw.
All right.
Look out, it's a really shitty plank, as you can see.
Oh,
Looks like it was hand drawn.
Right. It's either a giant plank or a petrified piece of poo. Couldn't quite cross quickly.
Yeah.
I would say this. Where we are right now, if you would like to continue, we can, but we will be here for a minute.
I think we can pause.
Yeah, we could maybe pause,
if you guys, we can end right now, or we could continue. I'm just letting you know that, like, if we go, it's probably going to be for at least another hour.
No, you're probably right,
shit.
because it's almost 11.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah.
Jenna's already
guarantee-
falling asleep at this point, so it's kind of like,
I took a nap before.
that's because you're in the closet in pillows right now. You are in a very comfortable
You look
spot.
very comfy.
Right, covered in Joey's
Pissed out,
titties.
everything, you know?
Babe, it is literally my ultimate dream right now to have your nipples.
I've never hated something more.
That is now your best blanket. That is the best blanket.
Oh my god.
I hate everything about this.
Oh my
I didn't realize how, like, life-size that particular photo was.
Dude,
Like, that's too funny.
it made me gasp a little bit.
I hate
Oh my
every
God.
bit of this.
And
So
like
good.
to the camera, I was like this.
Ugh.
You know, so if anyone views it, it's gonna notice me do this.
Oh
and
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
laugh like we should focus.
That
Oh
is
my
Like-
god.
Jenna, your tit is out.
Eve, I don't know if this is part of your character, but
Yeah.
yo tit is out.
Jeez.
Let's see if
Oh
it
my
looks like
God.
my titties are out. If I like. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious,
Totally
guys.
does.
Yeah.
That's your actual body too. That's even better.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Just casual beach bitch chilling
That
in the
is
closet.
life-size picture right there.
Yeah.
What's happening
Oh
there?
my god.
Jenna,
That is now your most prized possession.
that is too good.
I hate every bit of it.
Guys, even the like little.
Like what?
Oh my god, that's
Oh
awesome.
my god, did anyone say beach?
Jeez.
I did.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny. This is the best blanket ever.